Evan here, and I am standing by with Sagittariusly speaking, and our very special guest for tonight. The truth will set you free, and we're here. We're just having a free talk here tonight. Not nothing too serious, but we do have something that I think the truth will set you free wants to cover, and we'll let her get into that in just a moment. But right now, I want to know how the two of you are doing. Sagittariusly speaking, how are you doing, my man?
I am doing quite fine. I'm happy to be here tonight. I figured we should go ahead and go live since we were kind of bored and didn't have a scary performance speakeasy to tune into. I figured it'd be a good opportunity for us to fill the void, so to speak.
Oh yeah, we are taking over for Dan. Dan's not he's not able to do it. The air conditioning wore him out, man. He fixed his air conditioning today, and he's done. He's done for tonight. So our special guest, the truth will set you free. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing good. Feeling charged.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a smile on my face. This is it's really nice, y'all, to have me on here.
Cool. Sounds like your volume went down about 10.
I don't know what happened. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Okay. Like, I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just an accident and I hit a button or something.
Oh, that could be. So
Yeah.
you had a few things to talk about tonight, but I just wanted to mention a few things also. Sagittariusly speaking, what did you want to get into? You had a segment, I believe, we wanted to do. It's called "What Would You Do?" Do you remember that show? What would you do?
I think I may have heard of it. But what would you do if I didn't?
I don't know. I think I would be terribly sad. Do you want to play a little bit of a game here before the Truth Will Set You Free gets started in on her paper she wants to read for us here tonight?
Are
Sounds
you
fun.
saying like maybe play like a few scenarios
Sure.
just for fun? All
Yeah.
right. Well, let's keep them really light. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to come up with one?
Well, you come up with one, and since the Truth Will Set You Free is our very special guest here tonight. Why don't you go ahead and let her have at it?
Oh, you like first crack at it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're putting you on the spot here.
Okay, so
All right.
I've never played this before, so is this like
Well,
the show?
it's yeah, it's pretty much like the show. All right.
Okay,
So
this
let's
sounds like
say,
fun.
all right. So let's say you're you are in the grocery store and you notice that somebody is opening the cereal and tasting all the different cereals, and if they don't like them, they're putting them back on the shelf. What would you do?
Oh, gross. um, well,
They're taking like a handful of Fruit Loops, and they're like, "Oh no, I don't like the Fruit Loops," so they close in the box and putting it back on the shelf, and then they grab some Honey Nut Cheerios, and they like the Cheerios, so they put them in their cart. Then they grab the Captain Crunch, and they don't like the Captain Crunch, and they put it back on the shelf. Do you just ignore the situation, or do you approach them, or do you report it to the manager?
well, now see that's me because I think years ago I might have approached the person, but I think in this case I would probably take my cell phone and call the front end of the store and have somebody else deal with it. With nowadays, people out there the way they are, but I would report it. I wouldn't. And I think I would try to remember which boxes he touched so we could discard those. So, yeah.
All right. That's probably the same thing I would do. How about you, Hebrew?
Well, I mean,
You
yeah.
know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, since they're already open anyway, I mean, I guess you could go ahead and taste it too if it's one you've never tried before, right?
Right. Well, it's not like they straight like they're not eating straight out of the box.
Oh, they're pouring it into like a little plastic bowl.
Well, I mean, they're not like my daughter has this bad habit of like eating chips over the chip can, like over the Pringle can, and let the crumbs fall in the chip can. So I mean, they're not like eating them over the box and letting the crumbs fall from their mouth into the box, right?
Oh, okay. No, no, no. Of course not.
No.
That
Okay.
would just be too. That would be too. Yeah, that would be no. That would be too much.
But are they putting their hands in it?
Yeah. Or
Oh,
are they just holding the box over their mouth and letting them fall, and then some of them are landing on the floor?
well, I'll tell you what. It depends. You don't know what people are about to do because I was in the bathroom one time and standing at the urinals, and I saw a guy just using the urinal, and he walked right out the door without washing his hands. So we'll put it in that scenario. If you put it that way, if you watch a guy walk out of a stall and not wash his hands, no, I mean, like, oh boy, I think I'm getting a good laugh over here. Um, then that's pretty nasty on its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So yeah, I think we all agree. We would in today's day and age, if someone's that crazy enough to open cereal, they're probably not the most mentally stable person in the world. It would probably be a good idea not to approach them yourself because there's just so many weirdos out there nowadays. I would probably just notify somebody who works for the store, and like Truth Set You Free said, I would probably just go ahead and try to remember which boxes they even though you probably would be able to go just if you
No.
looked if you inspected close enough, you'd be able to tell which ones had been opened and which ones weren't.
Well, you watch them while they're doing it, but you
Right.
you don't watch them so much that they notice you watching them, and then when they walk away, you grab the boxes and take them up to the manager or something. That's what I
Right.
do. I mean, that's just me.
Exactly. All right. Well, that settles that one. Does anybody else want to come up with so either it can be a real one
Well, I want you to.
that you've actually done if you want. I mean, sometimes weird things happen in real life too.
I want you
What
to
kind
think
of
of this.
scenario can they be? Can they be just anything from something as simple as a cereal box to something really bad that
I'll tell you
happened?
something really gross. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'll tell you something really gross that he come up with um, earlier. Hey, Count Von Strange is in the house. We don't see him too often, or not.
Well,
Good,
welcome, Count Von Strange, the fourth.
but I'll tell you something gross. He said, "What would you do if you saw a homeless man take a drink out of a carton of milk from the store, like he's in the store and he takes a drink out of the carton of milk and then seals it back up and puts it back in the fridge, in the store, the refrigerated, the milk section."
And then the scenario was A, you could obviously report it to somebody who works in the store, or B, you could just approach the homeless man and offer to buy him the milk and or maybe, $10 or $20 worth of groceries. Because, obviously he's desperate if he's drinking milk out of the carton in the store and putting it
Mhm.
back. Or you could just ignore the situation and pretend like it didn't happen. Which one do you think you'd be inclined to do?
I would probably purchase the milk for him.
Yeah, I think me and Hebrew came to that conclusion as well.
Yeah. Well, at first, my first initial reaction was like, well, that's really gross. And I mean, you never know what, not just a homeless person, but what anybody could have. Like they could have TB or something. So I was
Well,
like, well,
you couldn't just leave the milk and
right.
let and pretend like it didn't happen because somebody else could end up drinking the milk and get whatever contamination that may or may not have occurred, but by them drinking it.
But yeah, I agree with the truth would set you free. I would just buy him the milk, and I would even buy him a few. I'd say, look, man, if you need a few other groceries, I'll buy them for you too. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think we all think alike on that one. Ding, ding, ding.
Hey, E-Man joined us. E-Man 31. Hello, E-Man.
one haven't seen him in a long time. I think we should.
All right. So, what
Huh?
were you going to say? Go ahead.
I said I think we should just do the shout outs as they come in instead of doing one long list of shout outs.
All right. Well, yeah, that's fine. We have looks like 6 watching, maybe 3 or 4 showed up in the 2 or 3 showed up in chat.
We have some lurkers. So, okay, the truth will set you free. Do you want to give us a scenario, maybe?
Yeah, but I was trying to ask, does it make a difference what type of scenario?
Nope. Whatever your imagination can come up with.
I mean,
keep it PG. Don't get like too.
well, no,
I
I'm
don't know.
not. I'm not going to get. But I mean, if it's something drastic, can it be something drastic and to see what the reaction would be?
Yeah, I started off kind of lightweight because I didn't want to, get too heavy right off the bat.
Well, what you said, similar to something that maybe even you've experienced. So,
Yeah, you could slightly change the names to protect the guilty if you want to.
Change the names to protect the innocent.
Oh yeah, innocent. My bad.
Okay. So you're getting into your car, and you are in your apartment complex, which of course I don't live in an apartment no more, but you're getting into your apartment complex car, and there is a couple, a man and a woman having a fight, and the man starts to beat up the woman, and she runs over to your car, and she's pounding on the window for you to let her in. As you're pulling away, do you let her in or do you just drive off?
Ooh.
Good one. That's a really good one.
It sure was.
Now, are you familiar with these people? Do you know this lady? Have you ever seen her before?
Now, you mean the driver? Has she ever seen the person before? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a complete stranger.
But you have to remember. Now, this might help the scenario. It isn't the nowadays. It's say 38 years ago. So people weren't as apt to be shied away from being there for others back then. So those are the two concepts that change it a little bit. But no.
Mm-hmm. So I think that I would stop and let her get in, and then I would just immediately pull off. Though I wouldn't stick around to try to get caught up in their drama.
Right, but I'm saying, okay, now what if I forgot to add this? The person that is chasing her, which is her husband, has a gun. A gun.
Yeah, I've actually been. Yeah.
And he's brandishing the weapon as he's chasing her.
Ooh.
Yeah. Would you leave her to get continually beat up or shot, or would you allow her to fly into that car on your way out?
Right. I think I would still let her come if she looked like she was desperate and going to jump in right away and not be wishy-washy about the thing. Now, if I had the slightest inclination, she might just try to say, start to get in and then start arguing with him again. I wouldn't stick around for all of that. But if she was
not if he's shooting at you.
No, yeah. She's pounding on your car window saying, please, just let me in, please. So
yeah, I would let her in. Yeah. I let her in.
Awesome. And who's saying that? Is that Hebreo's voice?
That's Saji.
Okay, God, y'all, it is so hard tonight because even can't tell which circle is which, because sometimes even when I speak. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm going to tell you guys a similar scenario. Now, I had an uncle that he was renting out a house, and he was renting out a house to this couple, and this actually happened. The woman, and I'm sure yours did too, we had the couple living there at that house, and they came over. It was in the middle of the night, and she was pounding on the door, and her boyfriend comes up, and her boyfriend had the gun, and unfortunately, And then my uncle, he was out there. Went outside, and then he was inside. Had to run immediately inside, lock the doors or whatever. But he was trying to get the guy. He was trying to get the guy out of there, trying to get him away from her. And unfortunately, what ended up happening is he witnessed the guy shoot the girl, and then shortly after that, turned the gun on himself and killed himself. So the girl, I think the girl lived, but the guy, of course, died. He killed himself, and unfortunately, it happened right there on my aunt and uncle's property, and the whole situation was just so traumatizing, of course, as it would be for anybody. And but they survived that situation, and of course, the cops showed up, and this and that and the other. But it's so weird that your situation that you were telling me about, it reminded me of that whole situation, that whole scenario. She came banging at their door at 3 or 4 in the morning, and it was just a horrific situation. I'm telling
Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that happen to your uncle or to someone in your family in general. And to the people that it happened to. I mean, that's just a really sad story.
Yeah, yeah. That was I was very young, and I married a man when I was 14. And I had 2 kids by 17 with him, and he was a very, very heavy drinker, very vile. He would drink and he would become like fire water. And yeah, that was me. I was the girl that beat on the car door.
you.
And of course, I've been 38 years single. My kids are grown up and gone. I have a 38 and a 39-year-old, and I have 4 grandchildren now. So,
So
but
did the person let you in the car?
no,
They drove off without you?
yes,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And so what
That just
happened after that? Did he end up beating you
well,
up more?
well, I ended up head to toe pounded with a 12 gauge pump shotgun, and I ended up in the hospital in traction for a period of time at the Methodist here in San Antonio.
So that's
And
deeply affected you. I mean, I'm sure you've thought long and hard over and over. If only that person would have helped me.
I didn't think about it till now, but I guess it's been so many years, and I've been single for, 38 years. I've never really, well, I did remarry once, but I left that man on the honeymoon, and that was back when I was 22 at the time. So I left him when I was going to be about, how like when you're young, you say I'm 17 and a half, so I was 17 and a half when I left him with 2 kids. Now I don't want to say, well, I'm X and X and a half,
Yeah.
but yeah, I almost died. And I really just didn't have anybody to turn to, but it was really strange because I used to live in this apartment where you would come down the stairs in the inside of the apartment, had a stairwell going down to the door. And I ran out that door and I saw this woman and she was pulling out. So all she had to do was just speed off with me. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
just remember beating on the door, and he took me back in the house by my hair, and it was something. Yeah, it was. I just felt like, I guess I do think back on that, like, what kind of cruel person didn't let me in the car, But
Right. Now,
that was so long ago.
have you ever been at the other end of the spectrum where you've seen somebody who needed help and you had the
Oh,
choice to stop and help them or not?
oh God, I have helped a lot of people in
And
the past.
whenever the opportunity presents itself, you choose to help, right?
Yes, but nowadays I don't really see a lot of people, because I don't go out in the streets that much or whatever. But I
Right.
have actually picked up a woman that ran to my car in an HEB, which is a grocery store in Texas, parking lot. And yes, I didn't know her to forgive her. I was reading the chat, sorry, but yes, it's not that. It's more just the concept of morals for me that I think, I could have survived at least a lot better at that time. But yeah, I was in a parking lot of HEB, and a lady came running up to me, and I actually took her back to my house and helped her to calm down and get settled, and then drove her back home where she needed to go. So, yeah, I would be there. Definitely, definitely.
Wow.
I just,
All right.
yeah, yeah. But it was what would you do? So, do y'all want to do one more? A little more
Well, it's
upbeat?
Hebrews. Oh yeah. Do you got another one, or
Let,
do
let,
you want to do one, Hebrew?
yes, sir. Well, I was going to say let's lighten up the show a little bit and switch gears.
Okay.
Go ahead and well, hello, Michelle's Opinions is in the house. Good to see her.
Well, good evening, Michelle. I was just telling Hebrew earlier how I saw you in the chat room earlier and said hi to you. It was nice seeing somebody I know in a different chat room where I didn't know anybody. Not that I really know you all that well, but you were a familiar face nevertheless, or a familiar name. I'm not really sure what the correct verbiage is.
I've known E-Man for a long time. I've known E-Man. I've known Michelle's Opinions for a short time, but when I've known her, she's always kind of followed the channel a little bit and has watched us here and there. You know, the truth. What's going on over there?
Sorry.
It sounds like you're loading your pistol.
I know I was responding in the chat to
Oh, you were typing.
yeah, I'm sorry, and I wasn't done, so I'll just stop if that's too loud. Sorry. I'll try to
No,
do it
that's
really
fine. No, you can do that. Now that we know what you're doing, it's okay.
I just want to say something.
There for a second.
It sounded like you were loading a full clip there for a second.
No, I'm sorry. I don't own a gun. I'm not a gun girl. You know, I just kill them with kindness. That's all, you know.
I would like to do one or two more if you guys don't mind.
All right. Do you want to? Do you have one, or do you want me? I mean,
I like the one that you did. I'm sorry, I don't mean to step on you or nothing. I like the one that you did. I like the one you did about the gasoline can. Why don't you tell that one real quick?
All right. Well, that one was actually in a television show I watched recently. But you're at the gas pump, and you're filling up your car, your truck, your vehicle, whatever it is that you're driving, and a 20-something-year-old male approaches you, and he looks a little sketchy, and he's holding a gas can, and he says, "My car's broke down a mile down the road. Can you give me some money for gas?" And you look, and he holds up the gas can, and you're standing there at the pump pumping gas into your vehicle, and so you offer him to hand you the gas can. Well, hand me the can, and I'll put some gas in it for you. He says, "No, no, no. If you could just give me the money, that would work out better for me. I really just need you to give me the money." Do you give him the money, or do you tell him to step off?
But I didn't get it. I lost it somewhere.
All right, so you're pumping gas in your car. A 20-something-year-old male, looking kind of sketchy. He's holding a gas can in his hand. He approaches you and says, "I need money for gas. My car's broke down about a mile down the road." You offer to fill up the gas can, but he says, "No, I really need you to give me the cash." Do you give him cash, or do you tell him to step off?
No. If he won't take the gas, then he's not getting the cash.
I totally agree.
Yeah, we worked that scenario out earlier.
All right, but then I flipped it on Hebrew. I said, "Okay, he's not a 20-year-old male.
You can't.
He's actually a female, and she's trying to seduce him for the money, and she still has the gas can. You offer to fill it up with gas. Now, as a man, you're going to be a little bit easier on a female. But do you go ahead and give her the money, or do you not?"
No.
As a man that I am a man. What am I talking about?
Yeah, because it's harder to say no to a young, attractive female than it is a sketchy male. You have to. I mean, I'm just being honest here.
Honestly, and hey, there's Stonebender. Sorry, we're
But if you're going by the same morals, you would have to give the same answer. But would you?
I got to be honest and say no. I wouldn't give the same answer. It would be totally. I got to say this in all honesty. I would give her the money. Yes.
Would you at least ask for a phone number?
If I wasn't married, yeah.
All right.
Probably. Well, I won't go there, but you know.
Sorry.
Hey, that's what makes the game fun is that you put a twist on it and you test the boundaries. You can't just keep it so simple that it's vanilla flavored,
Right.
Well, I have one that was really similar to that, where this lady came up to me in a Target parking lot, and I had stopped in there for a minute, but I had a trunk full of groceries, and she came up with her son, and she said that they were hungry, and she wanted money. So I opened up the trunk, and I put together a bag with some bologna and some bread and some cheese, and I went to hand her the bag, and she did not want it. She wanted the money, so I didn't give her nothing.
Yep.
I was just like, you don't, you want the money, but you don't really. Obviously it was just a scam, because if she was hungry enough for her child to eat, she would have. And they didn't look. They had new shoes on and stuff. They didn't look like they had a problem. But I'm always willing to put out to help somebody. Like back in the day, there was a man that came up to me, and I was really struggling for money with 2 children by myself. And this man at this grocery store asked me for a couple of dollars. And this was a big lesson for me in life. It really was, because when I went into the store with very minimal money to buy groceries, maybe $25 for me and the kids. And so I went in, and when I came out, he was drinking a beer on the money I gave him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember my emotions to that, but then I started listening to Charles Stanley, and he had a thing back in the past called Your Unmet Needs, the Wrong Approach. And he talks about a person who they don't mean to become the way they are, but maybe that man was trying to get his needs met in his life, and things fell on the wayside, and he became homeless, and he was in the streets. You never know how he got to that place in trying to meet his need, and that was his need at the moment. So I was able to forgive that situation, but it's rare that I will pull money out and give it to someone anymore.
Have you ever come across a situation, and this is a question for everybody, even the chat, if they can answer this. You ever come across a situation where you saw a homeless person, or what you thought at the time was a homeless person, and you gave them money, and then later you see a car pull up, and it's a pretty nice car, and there's a person in there, and they get in the car and they drive away, and then all of a sudden you see them changing clothes in that car, and it turns out to be pretty nice clothes. Have you ever run into that situation?
All the time. It's like every weekend for me, man.
Very funny. Because, well, no, I mean,
I'm the guys changing clothes, and people are trying to catch me.
No, I mean, but
I thought I recognized you. You're that guy that was following me after you gave me $5 when I needed 20.
And then he takes his mustache off, and then you realize it was his evil twin.
No, I rarely, honestly, I know that the standing at the end of the freeway exit ramp with a sign is actually that guy standing there. If he's doing his due diligence and he's putting in his 8-hour, 9-hour, 10-hour day standing in that Florida, down here in this Florida heat, he's earning that money, and he's earning probably more than I'm going to make at my minimum wage job this afternoon. So I am not super inclined to dip into the, if I'm struggling to get by as it is, the least of my worries is the guy standing out the expressway exit ramp with the cardboard sign saying "God bless." I have a feeling that he's being looked out for. And if I have extra, if I had it like that,
Yeah.
and I was doing well for myself and and money was not a care in the world, then maybe I might consider it if I thought it was if like the Father spoke to me and somehow compelled me that I needed to help this particular individual. But otherwise, no. However, let's switch it around a little bit. Let's say
Wait.
you're walking downtown and you see a street performer and they're
Oh yeah.
playing an instrument or something like that, or a person comes up and they wash your windows and they're selling I don't know, a map for or an umbrella when it's raining or something crazy, like they got a hustle where they're providing something and hoping that you'll give them something in return. That person, I'm very inclined to see what they're talking about.
Oh wow. I was just
I'm
reading what
usually
Michelle's opinion said. Yeah, you know what's funny is there was one time I was going into Walmart and I came out of Walmart and I had like a ton of groceries in my cart, by the way. So I'm walking out of Walmart with these ton of groceries in my cart, and this homeless man comes up to me and says, hey, you got any change? I'm like, dude, you should have asked me that before I went to Walmart.
What did he say again?
He's like, hey man, you got any change?
Oh, that's what I thought he said. Go ahead.
I was like, you should have asked me that before I went into Walmart. I didn't even have barely enough to pay for my groceries. I said, do you see all these groceries? I said, here, do you want some groceries? He's like, no, man, I just want some beer. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see you then.
What did he say again?
You just want me to do the voice now.
well, I'm usually just kind of scared that if I'm trying to reach money out of my purse while someone's standing on the side of the road at an intersection, that I'm going to get my car smashed trying to give them a dollar bill. You know,
But what if
that's
he
just
sounded like the guy Hebrew was talking about? Hey man,
no.
can I get some money?
Actually, that would even be more of a no.
I just wanted to make sure for clarification.
It might have been Gilbert
Okay.
Godfrey. He might have been like, hi, I'm Gilbert Godfrey, and I don't work anymore. You got any money?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Was that you, Hebrew?
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. Do it again. Do it again.
I don't know if I could do it again without my throat bleeding.
He's really good at that. That is his forte. Doing impersonations.
Do you think that's Gilbert's real voice?
I don't know.
Like the way he talks, like when he wakes up and he's having coffee. Hey, honey, can you pass me the creamer? Looks like we might have some rain this afternoon.
No.
I think I gotta go mow my lawn. Excuse me.
Can you imagine him in the library trying to check out a book?
Do it. Pretend. I want to hear it.
How would he? Let's see what.
He's trying to check out a book on how to do stand-up comedy.
Do you have any books on stand-up comedy by chance?
Shh, keep it quiet. We're in a library.
And you direct me to the bathrooms. I don't know where the bathrooms are.
Oh my god.
Do you have change for a 20?
Yeah, it does sound like he's yelling all the time. So how does he do any private conversation? Like imagine him whispering something to his wife,
Yeah, like
could you imagine him and Bobcat Goldplate in the conversation?
they're trying to they're trying to be cat burglars.
Oh yeah, like they're trying to whisper things to each other.
Good luck.
Hey, you set off the alarm. You're making too much noise.
Nobody would take him serious if there was a Golden Gate Bridge problem. Get it?
This is kind of wrong, but imagine him trying to talk somebody out of jumping off the bridge.
Oh no.
Do it. Say don't jump like his voice. Do it, please.
I don't know if I could. No, I can't.
You say something like
jumping. I'm trying to get through here. Okay.
so bad.
I gotta get to McDonald's.
Like throwing the whole personality with it, right? Not just like don't jump, but could you mind not jumping? I gotta go to McDonald's. Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom.
Oh boy, that's. You know, when I called in, were you listening to that phone call, Sag?
What are you talking about?
When I called in on Dan thought it was a recording.
Oh yeah.
that.
Oh,
I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
About 2 minutes. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Saggy.
Yeah, I'm here.
You know what? How much you want to bet she went to go pee?
I was just gonna let her go.
You know how like when women get to laughing so much that it makes them pee. You know about that, right?
Yeah, I do. Awkward moment.
Uh-oh.
So
Something there says ...
I missed something, I'm sure.
Yeah, well.
Nope. He's just telling on you. He said you probably had to go pee.
I did. It was all the laughing. I was like, oh my God.
If they're going to keep this up, I need to get away for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's get back on track here. Come on now.
All right.
This is a professional show. There'll be
no more shenanigans on Shenanigans Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know.
Saturday night shenanigans.
For those of you that tuned in expecting professionalism, I don't know what the hell you were thinking on the show called Saturday Night Shenanigans.
I mean, it took us like 20 minutes to come up with the title. We better stick to it.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh my God, y'all aren't joking. It really is named that. I just looked up. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no,
I thought y'all were joking. Oh, yeah, that is true.
We went through how many titles do you think we went through before we came up with that one? And
we had at least 10 really bad ideas before we came up to that halfway decent one.
The original one you came up with, and I turned it down.
Actually, it was the original one you came up with, and I turned it down.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah. But then I realized we weren't going to come up with anything remotely even close or better. So, and then we had to look up how to spell shenanigans just to be sure that we spelled it correctly.
And it could be wrong. It could be spelled wrong anyway.
I know, right?
Well, it could be
Could have been a
Mandela.
different way.
I just don't remember how they used to spell it on the Sagittarius arm planet, so I'm SOL.
Well, with that being said, in your Gilbert Godfrey voice, no, I'm just kidding. I believe the truth will set you free if we can get back on the right track here. Had some.
We also had someone else join chat, the Taekwondo.
The Taekwondo, yeah, I did I not mention her?
I don't recall that you did. If you did, I didn't want her to go unnoticed.
You know, for the longest time, I always thought that was a picture of the Karate Kid doing like the crane kick.
I think you're just trying to segue into a Mandela effect.
No. I'm being serious. It kind of looks like the Karate Kid, and you know, not the old one, but the remake.
Oh, what is it called?
The Karate Kid.
Oh, okay. There's a remake of the original Karate Kid?
Yeah, with Will Smith's son.
Huh. You learn something new every day.
Hey, just ask Hebro. Hebro knows all the what do you call it? Pop culture movie references.
All right. So it must have been a flop because I never heard of it.
I would like to hope that it was a flop, but it was Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith was the Karate Kid, and Jackie Chan was Mr. Miyagi.
Okay. Interesting concept. Did it do well? I mean, was it a popular movie? Somehow I missed it.
Well, there wasn't a sequel, so I guess it wasn't that popular.
Okay. Well, that is still a very creative name, the Taekwondo, and the way they spell doe like a female deer. That I like that. But I do like the Cobra Kai show on YouTube. Yes, that is a great show.
Have you seen the second season yet?
I haven't finished it. I started it, but it wasn't. I got sidetracked and I never got around to finishing it. I'm got like 4 more episodes to watch.
Well, Taekwondo says that it sucked, so I don't know if I should go watch it or not.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of neat how they made
the second season.
Oh, the second season. Okay.
Yeah. I like the original.
The first season was pretty good, and I think that's why I never finished the second season also, because I got sidetracked and I just really wasn't that much into it like I was the first season.
Well, I heard you've been getting into Stranger Things.
I finished Stranger Things. You know what? Same thing with that. The first season was good. The second season was way better, and the third season I just wasn't feeling it the same as season 2.
Stranger Things?
Yeah, Stranger Things season 3 was sort of a letdown for me.
You know, I never got past the first season. I need to catch up.
I just like all the esoteric references that are in it. Esoteric, I don't know. I can't even pronounce words correctly right now. But I really just enjoy the what in the 80s pop culture references, because I grew up in the 80s. I enjoy that as well.
Well, sure, I did too. I'm sure a lot of us did.
No,
It's
I
funny.
didn't grow up. I didn't grow up in the 80s. I'm older than y'all.
Oh,
I didn't.
okay.
Yeah, I grew up more in the 70s.
Ooh.
I see. Well, I was born in the 70s. I was born in 1970 to be exact. I'm an old man.
Born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, and lived through the 90s. How about that?
I'm born in the 60s, raised in the 70s, and I'm still here.
Well, between the three of us, we cover almost 30 years worth of adventure.
You
That's
know,
awesome.
that is awesome. You know who else I think could cover yet another timeline would be God's Armor.
Yeah, he could probably go back to World War One.
I think he was more in the no. He was probably born in the 50s. I'm the 60s. Then you have the 70s.
I don't know if he's that old, but
Well, he's a little bit older than me, and I was born in the mid 60s.
I don't know.
I think he did tell us a story once about him being in Germany during the war, didn't he?
That was not during the war.
Oh, okay.
He was stationed there. Very funny. Wait till I tell him you said that.
I wasn't sure. I thought it was during the war. I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Yeah, well, he's probably in bed right now. That's why he's not joining us. He needs his rest.
But the truth will set you free. Did have a report she wanted to go over. I think.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Keep talking amongst you.
Okay, that's our line. We talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Just one, because there's somebody else wanting to join your thing, so I'm trying to let them know to stop popping in on my phone. So I'm going to tell them to come on your show.
Wait a minute. What do you mean?
There's somebody popping in on my phone, which is interrupting while I'm trying to talk to you. So I'm trying to type them on the computer and tell them I'm on, because they'll keep, coming on my phone. So I'm trying to let them know to go on
quit
to
blowing
your
you
show.
up.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just going to write real quick to them and tell them, what was it? Hebrew. How do you say your show again? Hebrew.
It's he dash bro from Eternia.
From ETRNIA show live now. Okay.
Preliminals in the chat, by the way.
Oh yeah. He said, what year is it?
It's the year 2424. How about that? Okay, we can hear that.
Sorry.
It's just I'm gonna. Can you like hit your mute button while you're looking stuff up, or I'm just asking. I'm not trying to be rude or anything.
Sorry. I have very long fingernails, and I was typing to try to keep the interruption from happening, because this is a friend of mine, and he'll just keep like going.
Mute yourself up while so you can till you get it looked up.
Yeah, you can mute yourself.
Yeah.
And then unmute yourself when you're done.
Okay, I'm done typing. I'm just hoping that he gets it.
Okay.
If he does do it again, so I just go to audio and touch it, and it'll mute it then, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm just learning, man. I'm learning.
Okay, no, I wasn't trying to.
I'm like a baby. I'm like a baby here.
But what was I getting ready to say to you, Sagittariusly speaking?
Hold on. Let me consult the crystal ball.
Consult it, yo.
It says, I forgot.
I was getting ready to tell you something, and then I kind of lost it. Something to do with the show. I wanted to make a retraction.
Okay.
The known doe said that she wasn't talking about the second season of what was the show we were talking about before?
Karate Kid remake.
The Karate Kid.
She was talking
Cobra Kai versus Karate Kid remake.
Right. She was talking about the Karate Kid remake sucks. She said that Cobra Kai was awesome.
Yeah, I would have to concur that I've never seen the Karate Kid 2, but I really don't feel like I've missed anything there, and I did kind of enjoy Cobra Kai. I really liked that.
She said Cobra Kai was the bee's knees.
The bee's knees. Okay.
In my reality, it's 2019. I don't know about you, Stonebender. Just in my reality. Connie Joe Wood joined the chat, by the way. Thank you, Connie Joe Wood.
Yes. Welcome to Saturday Night Shenanigans.
And let me tell you something. We've had some shenanigans going on here tonight.
Yes, we
It was a
have.
lot of fun. Yeah, there was a lot of laughter. I want the laughter to continue.
I don't know. How can we get the laughter back?
Well, did I mention I can still balance plates?
I didn't ever remember you ever balancing plates in the first place, but okay.
No, I mean, I offered to do it that one day when our chat room was falling out, remember? I said, well, I can balance plates.
Let's see it.
I meant metaphorically speaking. Or never mind.
Oh, he's talking about. Okay, wait a minute. What are you guys on over there in chat? Just asking. They're talking about different years.
I can see that. I think that they're on a different space-time continuum.
I guess so. Either that or we must have missed half the conversation. How am I going to send you a Hangouts link? I don't even have your email anymore. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Wait, dude, I still have Hangouts. I still have our private Hangouts. I'll send it to you in that somehow. So anyway, we're waiting for good old The Truth Will Set You Free. She has a special report to tell us all, I think. Or was it a story? What was it?
It's a
synopsis.
A synopsis.
I'm here. It's actually it's going to be hard to get started, but I'm sure once I do, I'll be able to kind of put this together. I am going to be talking about structured water and the healing of our planet and ourselves through structured water.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about send you a link to the thing? Or are you talking about send you a link to Hangouts? I don't get it. I'm confused. I'm lost.
Who are you talking to?
Stonebender.
You know, there's this thing called typing.
I didn't know what he was saying.
There's also this thing.
You kind of just totally hijack. You tell her to start a report, and then she starts to talk about it.
Oh my God! I snorkeled.
You got to remember, I have been.
Oh my God, that is too funny. I just snorted. Well, we like snorkeled and I voice while I was laughing. I was like,
I mean, that sounds like something that I would do to you. Like, I would tell you to start, and then as soon as you start, I would just totally go in a totally different direction, just to mess with you.
You know,
I had no clue what he was saying. I was like, I didn't ask for a link.
You know, we got 14 watching. That's more than we get on Shifty Sunday.
Well, it's because it's Saturday Night Shenanigans, and we're filling in for Scarab because he canceled.
If we were filling in for Scarab, we would have 124 or 160.
Well, give us about 20 more minutes.
I have 160 subscribers. Come on, guys. Where's all my watchers? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as I said that, we lost a watcher.
That's all right. All right, so do you want to try this again? The Truth Will Set You Free.
I'll shut up, I promise.
No, please. And I'm not sure how I'll do this because it's in little segments and The way it's written is probably like if you were actually reading what I wrote.
Well, I mean,
It's
it really
like
helps if
maybe-
you have visuals to go with it as well.
Yeah. Well, you'll just have to close your eyes and visualize because I'm real good at describing stuff. So it'll have to be more like a visualization because I don't know nothing about this program on how to add stuff to this.
What are we, caveman? Come on. We got to visualize now. I forgot how to do that with all the technology, you know?
Well, this would be good for you then. A little meditation, a little, imagination and
I'm
meditation.
too lazy to visualize. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, did you not want me to share the topic?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. And I don't know who you are because I'm confusing your voices again, but I think that was
Maybe
Hebrew.
if I talk like this, will that help if I talk like this?
That's Hebrew, right?
I'm going to share a link in the chat for those who want to bring up the images while you're presenting the report. So go ahead.
Okay.
That
So
way
I need to.
they don't have to work their brain. Good idea.
I need to. Oh, good. Awesome. That is so awesome. And I want to tell a little bit about how I got started with this.
Can you speak up or speak into the mic? I'm sorry. I can't.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I barely hear you. You're real low.
Okay. My phone is turned up as far as I can.
That's better.
It was working
You
earlier.
sound fine. You sound fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you just wanted to.
I
make sure
literally
you-
have the phone shoved up to my face now.
All right.
So basically, kind of a little history on this. I've been using a lot of structure.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm reading the
Are
comments.
you doing this like as a bit? Like, are you like?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Because it's only the fourth time. I'm wondering, like, when to.
I apologize.
You keep saying I'm not going to interrupt you, but then as soon as she starts again, you do it again. I'm wondering, is it the bit? Because I want to play along too. I can do it the next time.
I'm reading the comments. I don't mean to be rude. I read the comments, and Preliminal said I swallowed a Meprazole, and now he's watching the new episode of Midnight Special. What?
A Moprazole is for indigestion.
Yeah, I know. I use Meprazole.
Yeah, I take Nexium now.
Meprazole.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm
sorry.
on esomeprazole now, which is the generic of Nexium. It's eso instead of omeprazole. But now that we're onto that topic, I just can't focus, man. I can't.
We're distracting you.
Okay.
We're keeping you distracted.
It's okay.
Would it help if I showed you a picture of a chicken penis?
No.
Oh,
but
okay.
Ew, gross. Do they I never thought that they had one. I never thought they had one. I'm sorry. That's just weird. I guess they do have to have them, right? Yeah, I mean, I knew that they probably were male and female, but I never thought about a chicken having a penis.
No, neither did I.
I can't get the image out of my head now. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to eat chicken fingers for a month.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Chickens can't have penises. They would be called. Never mind. I just thought.
Yeah, let's just change the subject while you're ahead, dude.
I just
quit while you're slightly ahead.
I think I got it. Starts with a C, and I got you.
Yeah. I think we just went from PG-13 to R. So I don't know. It's Saturday night shenanigans, baby.
I'd say. So are you going to let her do this, or are we just going to not do it?
We're gonna. That's the joke, though. Sagittarically speaking, we
I know.
We have to
let her start again, at least.
I'm sorry. I like making her laugh. That's what it is.
But, yeah, well, you're doing a good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So
Whatever you do, don't read Preliminal's comment. Whatever you do.
Preliminal comment. Don't read it. Okay. I won't read Preliminal's comment. I won't read Wolfman Jack is walking into a Kentucky Fried Chicken aquarium. I won't read that. I promise.
Okay, as long as you don't do that, we'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I don't get that comment. I don't get that comment. I mean, I want to laugh at it, but I don't understand it. I think Wolfman Jack was the guy who had that really low voice back in the day. He was a radio commentator or something, right?
Yeah.
But
And then a Kentucky Fried Chicken aquarium.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had Kentucky Fried Chicken aquarium.
That's chicken under the sea, isn't it?
I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, but didn't Wolfman Jack, I got confused because I thought Wolfman Jack all of a sudden had made some pots and pans too, but it was somebody else.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He's a chef.
Yeah, so he's Wolf. What was his name?
Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Puck.
Yes.
Wolfgang Puck and Wolfman Jack. But it's been a long time since I've seen Wolfman Jack. Yeah. That's back in the 70s. Yeah. He was on KTSA radio station in San Antonio.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there an episode of Quantum Leap that was based off of Wolfman Jack?
I'll have to go with if you say so.
Well, let's see if the chat knows it. I bet the chat remembers Quantum Leap. Quantum
Leap. That wouldn't surprise me because that sounds like something they would do. And if you recall, do you recall it?
What it was they did an episode of this radio DJ that was back in the I believe 60s, maybe late 50s, early 60s. That was a controversial DJ, and they did they were shutting down the radio station. The town wanted to shut down the radio station because they believed rock and roll was evil. And I think it was based off of Wolfman Jack, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
Was that like, remember the movie Footloose?
I remember the movie Footloose.
Yeah, that rock and roll was evil in that movie too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and books and stuff too. I remember they were burning the books.
Right. And Kevin Bacon was a really good dancer.
Sure. I love bacon. Fries with bacon, hamburgers with bacon. Yeah.
Bacon. Bacon. Donuts.
Quantum Leap, speaking of Quantum Leap, that was probably the first time that I really kind of started to wrap my head around like the whole going back in time and really starting to get like a good grasp on the concept, just generally speaking.
I love Quantum Leap, man. That was one of my favorite shows.
And then, Back to the Future, it helps reinforce it, but Quantum Leap really took it to a whole new level.
Have you ever noticed that people talk a lot about the flux capacitor? Like that really comes up a lot, and the way they said there was a thesis done on the flux capacitor said that could really actually be a true thing. Not necessarily that you could travel in time in a car, but that the flux capacitor could actually be a real means of opening a portal between time and space.
What is that? Are you hearing that echo or that whatever it is?
Yes, I'm hearing that. What's going on here, man? Have you got your YouTube turned way up?
Who, me?
No, not you.
No, I don't have anything on at all. I've got the computer totally silenced, and then I have my phone that I'm talking to y'all on.
I like Stonebender's comment here, by the way. everything is outside of time. Time is a man-made
Yeah.
construct to measure. I can't read that word.
Entropy of a fallen world.
Okay, yeah, I will agree with that. Won't you?
I'm not really sure I understand it. Entropy. What does entropy mean, Stonebender? I don't. I'm not familiar with the term. I know I sound ignorant, maybe, but
Well, I think
I'm
infantry. I
curious.
mean, I said infantry. I meant that word. I think it has to do with kind of just like basically it's like it's time is a man-made concept, and it's just like I don't know. He's just trying to be fancy on us. That's all it is. He's trying to give us this fancy word.
No, I mean, there's probably something to it. I just don't totally understand it to strongly for me to totally say if I agree or disagree. I do think that time is a relative concept, and it does seem like it is something that we all experience differently. And it also seems like something that sometimes goes by so fast, and other times goes by so slow, depending on your
I'll
state
give,
of mind, your conscious awareness, and just generally how much fun you're having or how miserable you are. So I do see how time is
I'll give you a general.
kind of weird.
I'll give you a generalization of time real quick. It's kind of an easy, just to the simplest concept that you could ever possibly imagine. It's just if you think about the old saying, a boiling a pot of water never boils while being watched, and it's kind of
Okay.
like that. If you take that concept and think of time as a pot of boiling water.
You mean for how much time it takes it to boil?
Well, no, not necessarily where I'm going with that. It's kind of like you set that pot on the burner.
Uh-huh.
It depends really on how much water you put in the pot. Now, if you put and how deep the pot is. Now, if you put just ever
Does
so
it matter how hot the burner is?
and the heat of the burner, yes,
Okay.
and
What about the temperature outside? Does that matter?
no, that shouldn't matter.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, what the point I'm trying
Uh,
to make.
I have the definition right here if y'all want it. Okay.
Sure.
of entropy?
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
It's a measure of the amount of energy in a system that is available for doing work. Entropy increases as matter and energy in the universe degrades to the ultimate state of uniformity. Inner
All right.
uniformity. Okay, so
So in a
it's about
weird kind of way, it really does kind of apply to what I was saying as far as how time seems to be different based on the situation that you're
And
in.
it goes right back to my boiling water point too, because it takes amount of
yes.
energy to boil water.
Yeah. All right. We all agree.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
So now, without no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the audience and the court, the truth will set you free. What's up? What? I didn't know I said something funny right there.
I can't. I just can't. What if I start again and we do that again? I'd be like,
Well, he's going to. Just go into it expecting him to. That way, when he actually does it, it won't be such a big deal. And if he doesn't, you'll be slightly disappointed.
Well, Well, I won't be able to stay up super late tonight because so I want to kind of do this because my grandkids are going to come swimming tomorrow and they'll be at 11. So they'll get here at about 11. So I could go to bed about 3. That's the latest I can be on here. And it's about 12.
Well, that gives you a whole hour and a half. You got plenty of time.
32, 33. I guess that's 2.5 hours for me. Where are you? What time is it where you're at?
1:30.
Oh, no, it's 12:30 here.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So wow. It's interesting, isn't it? That means time means absolutely nothing because we're all on the same
We're going
planet.
with
And you
time.
have all these different times, right? We're all on the same
It all
planet with all
ties in.
these different
Yeah. It all ties in what we're talking about. Absolutely.
Right. That's so synchronicity what just happened because I was like, okay, yeah, that is interesting. Very interesting.
You know, this guy likes his synchronicities, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah. All right. My watch says exactly 1:30 just now. Everybody
Yeah, it says
synchronize your watches.
12:30.
I mean,
Right
me
now.
too on 12:30. 12:30 right here. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So now we're all synchronized.
We all have synchronicities. Yes.
Yes.
So we're so we're all in the different place in the same place at a different time.
Yes.
I can't say that again. I don't think I can ever say that again. I don't
Not
even
at
know
this.
how I said
Not
it.
at that exact moment in time because it's already passed.
Yep, that's right. Okay, so what I was going to share is
Go ahead. We won't interrupt you.
unless you want. I mean, we could just joke around for the next couple hours and share this on
Yeah,
a different note.
if you want to share it on a different night, I'm totally fine with that.
I'll shut up. I promise.
He always says that. Don't listen to him. He's
look. I'm putting on mute. I'm putting on mute right now. Here goes mute.
Okay, no, I don't want you to be on mute. I don't mind.
Yeah, what's the fun in that?
Yeah. So I just want to make sure you want me to share it because
Oh, well, I mean, it's really bottom line. Do you want to? If you want to, we want to hear it.
Okay, awesome. So I would love to.
All right.
So I'll go back to where this actual concept has helped me tremendously. And I'll just do a little brief for that first. Back and basically the starting of what I was saying, because I was trying to come up with how to proceed with this, would be the concept is the talk of structured water is the answer to healing our planet and ourselves. And the reason I state that is because I was diagnosed with incurable cancer back in 2004, and I structure my water and I do no chemo, and there's no cure anyway for what I have. And I've lived out 16 years when my doctors thought I should have already been gone at the 10th year. So, I believe this works. It's awesome. And it's a real concept on a lot of different other levels of how we feel about ourselves and others and how we treat each other. So let me get started. I had wrote a poem a while back in 2005, and it was called The Outpouring of Water's Love. So when I did this article, I do the poem at the end of the article. And this is The Reality of Water's Power, written by Vivian Ennis, and that is my full name. I'm not scared of y'all knowing it. And you can also find this article on medium.com under Vivian Ennis. And I will start by just kind of saying a little bit about each little segment that I did. Like I wrote it in sort of like little paragraphs so it'd be easier. And so do you want me just to kind of like read a little bit of it and then kind of get on from there with talking about it?
Yeah, go ahead and start and then take a break somewhere where you feel comfortable, and we'll talk about what you said so far.
Okay, so this is kind of the combination of the article and my poem broken into one to sort of get kick-started, and the second and third page. It's not that long. It really isn't. So I don't want to bore you.
All right, I'm all ears. Go ahead.
Okay, all ears? Just see. Okay. Sorry. I don't know what y'all did to me tonight, but I am just giggly. It's terrible. I mean, it's good, but okay. So
yeah, if there was a bottle of water right now on our show, it would definitely be giggle water. But go ahead.
Giggle. I don't drink, so it must be water. I'm drunk on water. It says, as water runs downstream, being pushed by the force of all water's unity, it never goes back against the current. Water flows in a forward motion, never going backwards, always forward, like healing love does in total forgiveness. Water is total forgiveness. It washes and cleanses at the same time, never reminding of us our past. Water cleanses itself over and over again to be made useful to all, and especially Mother Earth. Water never fears losing itself to the other traces that have been left behind by other water, not fearing the memory of its lost connections either, because it is strong and sufficient. So I'll kind of stop there for a second and then state that the concept is that in human form, water is in our bodies, but in human form, we tend to remember when something has happened to us. But water constantly moves in a motion that's forward, and even if traces of itself is left behind, it doesn't grieve those traces. And so since our bodies, which is a Mandela effect, and I'll get to that part in just a minute, but our bodies are made up of X amount of water, and those amounts have been changed. From what I recall, we used to be made up of 70 to 80% water, and now we are 57 to 60% water, which is actually not what I was taught. So basically, let me go a little bit further into this, and this might be able to help me kickstart it. It says water is alive, powerful, and cleansing at the same time. Water is alive and absorbs negative and positive energies, feelings, actions, and emotions from humans and its surroundings. Water is alive and life itself. When in a negative environment, the collective consciousness of that environment has a big impact on how water behaves and promotes its ability to either heal or harm. Water is like a new birth, very fresh and alive, but also extremely powerful. It's powerful enough to destroy when tampered with or ignored. There's much destruction that can occur when water is angry. Since water has the ability to feel emotions and absorb the energies around it, it sometimes needs to let off steam, so to say. Tsunamis, hurricanes, and floods are just a few of the ways that water shares its connection to our collective consciousness. We are at war. When we are at war, so is water. When we are at peace, water is there with us. Water and we are one. Now, we are again made up of water in our bodies, and I will explain just a little bit now before I go on. Dr. Emoto Masur took 3 Petri dishes. They were all the same dishes, and he filled each one with the same water. And in one of the dishes, he marked with love, and the other one he marked with I hate you, and the third one he marked with thank you. Now, to prove his point, he puts the water into a cryogenically freezes it, and when he removes it from there and looks to the crystals through a microscope, he sees these beautiful forming crystals, which was in the little image thing that you put on there, sagittarically speaking. And so what happened is, to prove his point, when he first started finding out that water actually picked up words and thoughts, he actually took the labels and switched them. So he put the hate on the love and the thank you on the hate. He just moved them around and then froze them again. And in doing that, he came up with the realization that water itself was hearing and feeling. So as I read this article, I'm going to get into some really interesting things about more of what I could actually say, but I'd rather kind of just piece through it a little bit like this. So water and we are one. Water is numerous things to all in one. It's the force of life, growth, and possibilities. Water is a cleansing to our souls and bodies. There's no separation between us and water. Our bodies are made up of water. Humans are now, again, it's changed, 57 to 60% water, which in itself is total proof that water is of the living. Water hears and feels and becomes us. Water breathes on its own in its own time and movement. It connects and becomes one with who it encounters. Now I'm going to stop there and say another test this man did is he took a flask full of water, and he put a group of people into a room with no markings on their clothes that water could read. So there was no T-shirts with He-Man written on them or, things like that. And he had everybody in the group send energy to that water of hate. And he took samples of that water out of the flask, leaving it there. And then he had everybody in the room send love to the flask of water and checked the water again. And the findings were remarkable. So let me I'll go from here. It says, it is so awesome how water is so unconditional. How we think of ourselves and others directly affects the water that is in our bodies. This is what it's meant in the Bible when it says, do not put a stumbling block in your brother's pathway, or take the log out of your own eye before you take the splinter out of your brother's. We are either in peace with water and blessing the water in each of us, or we're killing it in ourselves and others by how we think. Our thoughts as humans are either creating peace or hurricanes. Structured water is the answer to the healing of our planet and ourselves. There have been experiments performed on water to prove that it's a living force by a Japanese doctor named Dr. Emoto Masur, who said that. Now, I didn't study directly with him, but I studied directly with Deepak Chopra, but I did not study directly with this doctor. I did study with a doctor who studied with him. So I was able to learn a lot more, and it really saved my life, especially since I have the stories we told earlier in the show of some very strong destruction I went through when I was younger. So it says the human consciousness has an effect on the molecular structure of water. Dr. Emoto quoted that quote. He said the human consciousness has an effect on the molecular structure of water. Dr. Emoto studied the effects of thoughts and words. Hold on, I'm going to change the page here. On water for many years. You can find some of his works in movies like What the Bleep Do We Know? And on YouTube by typing in the positive and negative effects of water. And if you do that, you will actually get to see some of the actual crystals and the thoughts of different thoughts putting and water with either prayer or not prayer on it. Like they took some water out of the Yoda River without prayer, then they prayed for the water and then re-looked at the water. And so that was interesting. It says there's also plenty of documentaries on water that you can find easily. So to me, this is more of not a religious thing, but a scientific concept. But because I believe God created everything, that's where it becomes more just spiritual in that aspect. Even our planet, life, and food is affected by water. Dr. Emoto proved that structured water, when given to growing produce, can have an enormous effect on how fruits and vegetables grow in size, shape, and flavor. The structured water growths were way better than the growths that had taken place in the water that was not structured with positive words. If words can make water react in produce, just think of what negative words and thoughts can do to our bodies. So let me explain that a little bit. He had a field that he split into two. And one part of the field, he marked on the hoses, love, peace, wealth, health, growth, happiness, joy. And he passed water through that to feed these fields of fruit. The other one, he did not do that. And in the process, the growth of the structured water was much more healthier and thicker pieces of peach than, peaches that had been unstructured. Now, this goes not just into Dr. Emoto. I've got some things to say about some German scientists that did a really good show that actually somebody removed from YouTube. It was a 3-part series on the structured water that was done by some scientists up in Germany. And so this kind of changes the look of everything for people who may not have heard about this before. Says water, so basically the structured water made a better fruit. So water is unconditional. Water is ever giving and unconditional, always changing temperature to Earth's temperature around it and finding comfort in that change. It flows freely with Earth's temperature changes as well as the changes of the moods of man. Says water is like codependency in liquid form. It always aims to please, even if it harms itself or eventually others. So water is warming to life's Mother Earth, hot, chilling, and freezing. Water will become one with the temperature of whom it adores and gives itself away as an offering of love and life. Water cleanses and is one with all. Water washes away the dirt and soil left once again by Mother Earth, moving in various directions as the water rushes by the landslide, brings the soil to new terrain. So earth and water are becoming one, even in its own separation of entities. It sees no separation. Water lives to the core of Mother Earth. Dig down and you'll for sure find water. Water picks up minerals and spreads them to other boundaries not imaginable to Earth without water's help. Water takes Earth to different levels on the planet and spreads its love in a way that Earth could not do without water. But now let's talk about when water dies. Now, it was proven that water that was taken, back in the day, and I think I might say this, I can just read it. It says, when water dies, water can lose its structure and charge. Back in the old days, when homes were built, they were built on streams where water was alive in the sunlight and in fresh air. You did not have to go far to get your water supply. Your house was usually pretty much built right by a water supply. The water was alive, flowing, and not tainted by the travel to get to you. It was fresh and alive. Nowadays, water has to travel many miles to reach your home, your faucets, and in that travel, it's underground where there's no sunlight or air. When water is traveling to your home in this manner, it travels through your neighborhoods where it is met with all kinds of energies, humans, traffic, darkness, chemicals, and rusty pipes before it reaches your home. So think about it this way. When you turn on your faucet, the water that you get has just picked up the argument down the street that your neighbor just had with his wife, because it's picking up these energies as it's traveling. So if you drink that water directly from your faucet, and you don't not just clean the water, but structure the water yourself with either soft music or prayer, or that's why in the church they have the people who pray and have holy water, because these waters are prayed for. We have a place in San Antonio called the Grotto, and if you go there, you will basically be able to fill up your containers with water. And if you take that water and you put that water into your bath water, even if it's an ounce of it, it now changes the molecular structure of the water in your bathtub. And if you sit in it, and now I'm telling you, I almost died in 2013. I was deadly ill and almost killed by the doctors that were actually supposedly trying to help me. And I saturated into this water, and within hours, I was not even ill anymore. So I do believe that prayer water, holy water, water that you just put to your mouth and bless as you drink it. So do you want me to go on? Because I'm almost done, but I want to kind of throw some things to see if you want to say something. Huh?
Well, no, I mean, I think that you're doing a great job, first of all. It's very interesting, and I couldn't agree with you more. And then what the thing that you just mentioned kind of made me think of the what they call the placebo effect, where you know, like they say sometimes they just give you the medicine really has no, it's just a water pill, but your belief in the fact that that can cure you can actually cure you. I think that kind of plays into what you're saying, is in the fact that you're mentally, when you're holding this water pill, you're blessing it mentally as something that's going to heal you. So it actually does.
Like curd bacon. What are you talking about? Curd.
Do you know what I mean? Are you with me?
I'm kind of with you. Oh, her. You're talking to her. I'm sorry.
I was confused, Hebrew, because you said something about bacon.
No, he said cured. I thought he said curd. Cured.
Oh, I think you said cured bacon. I don't know
Sorry.
if I kind of get what you're saying on that, because it's not sort of like a placebo pill. Because
no, I'm not saying it's like a placebo pill. I'm saying that it's the same concept as a placebo pill, in the sense that structured water that's has been blessed, or that has some type of positive energy, actually can make you feel healthier, or make you feel better. Where when you're a person who's getting a placebo pill, don't even realize they're getting a placebo pill, but they're taking it under the mindset that it's with taking it with a positive reinforcement.
Yeah,
so it's
I get
actually
what you're saying.
Yeah.
So then it charges the water in their body when they take it, and then they get better. Yeah, I love that. I sometimes I'm a little bit slow. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's, hey, I'm still good, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I'm glad you were able to really explain what you were saying to me, because because it is how you think. Like let's look at the children in school who are bullying other children.
Oh man.
And there is some stuff that I'll talk about as I go a little further that will come up about that, where
Well,
parents are actually teaching their children the rice experiment to teach them how their words are affecting other children and affecting themselves. Because even if I said something really mean, which I'm not perfect, I've made mistakes and felt hurt, and during hurt I've said things. I'm human. But here's the deal: right when I recognize it, I realize immediately what that charge is going to do to my body. And it's going to immediately go to the areas of my body that have the cancer and cause them to, what I call flooding me out with burning, flushing, and I become real ill. So I
right.
try to stay charged in
You
a
have
positive
you
way.
have what
Go
you call referred pain, and you can have what they call referred pain in one part of your body, but you might have the cancer in a completely different part of the body. But what going along with what he's saying, that if you truly believe in the healing effects, then a lot of times, they like he said, the Siebel effect will actually heal you, because your mind, there's a lot of power in the mind, what a lot of people don't understand or don't
I
recognize.
do. I do. I do. My doctors out at MD Anderson are like, how are you even here anymore? And y'all saw me on cam earlier. I do not look my age. I'm afraid to say it, but I'm almost 60. And a lot of that, I
No, you look
believe,
much younger.
yeah. Today I had a patient come in, and I do, healing work for a living. And during that person thought I was 38, and that's younger than my daughter. And I was like, no.
Saji, what was that?
Do you what?
Saji, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, what was that noise?
I don't know. I was just getting up. I'm trying to find my cigarettes.
Oh, was that okay? I'm just saying, I don't want Dan accusing us of tooting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It kind of sounded close to that. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, I found them and I'm back. So I
Well,
want to hear. I want to let her finish what she's on. I think you're wrapping it up. I want to hear
Yeah.
what you have to say.
Well, it's a little
yes.
bit to go, but I'm
Sorry,
pretty
I
sure
didn't
if I
sidetrack you.
try to stay on track, I can,
Uh-oh.
uh-oh,
We lost Saji.
uh-oh,
I hope I didn't
uh-oh.
embarrass him.
No, I'm sure you didn't.
No, I know. I just,
We can wait for him to come back on.
Dan accused us of tooting one of our live streams, and you know, from now on, when that noise occurs, I always say I blame the dog.
It was the bulldog that did it.
Right.
Get it? The bulldog?
I
Because that's
remember you
bull.
talking about it. Yeah. Said,
Yeah.
are you back?
I am back.
What happened, brother?
I accidentally hit the wrong button when I was sitting back down, and I
Oh,
left.
I thought
And
I
everything.
heard you.
Okay, everything's back to normal
Okay,
now.
good. No,
Okay.
we'll let you continue on.
Okay.
I just thought we would take a short break from that, and sorry if I didn't mean to be rude or anything like that. It was just when he scooted his chair, it reminded me of what Dan said to us on.
Well, everybody poops, so I think it's a normal thing.
Right. I think there's a book
Without
on
it,
that.
we would be exploding. Okay, so yeah, that's funny. I knew that's what you were thinking too, Hebrew. I knew that when you heard that sound, that I kind of already sensed that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going. I was.
I knew.
What was that noise?
What was that noise? And like somebody's going to really go, oh, it was me and I was farting.
Hey,
Right?
sometimes you got to man up to it. You got to owe up to it, right?
Yeah,
I-
that's
It,
it.
it, it, it was me, I promise.
I think it would be safe to say in this type of environment, whoever smelt it dealt it.
Well, I don't think that would work. You're right.
Right.
We can't unless they come up with the concept of smell-o-vision.
Oh boy, I'm getting a vision here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't want to smell a vision that. No, I think maybe food, maybe, making some strawberry
No,
shortcake
certain
and
food.
being able to smell it, that would be good.
Got to take
So,
it easy on the. Oh, speaking of garlic, those garlics you mentioned. I think those are elephant garlics.
oh yeah, and I've been using them. I made tonight another gallon of kale apple tea, and then I take the kale that I used and I
Kale.
turned it into kale, Kale,
Yeah, I know what kale
apple
is. Yeah. Yep.
kale apple. I made kale apple tea with beet sugar, a little bit, like a fourth of a cup, because the apples give the kale the flavor as well. And then I take the kale and I pull that out and I squeeze it out and I put it in a
You know,
processor and add basil and oil and parmesan and one of those big chunks of garlic.
mhm.
And I make my own jars of pesto. And I actually Hebrew. Well, I don't think you're on my Facebook page, but I posted the jars to Facebook.
Put that on pasta.
Oh yeah, I put it on top of meatloaf, Italian meatloaf as well, and then pour
Oh, yeah.
sauce over the top. And
Oh
I
wow,
tell
that
you,
sounds amazing.
I'm an excellent cook. And I was going to ask y'all something before I go any further with this, just real quick, not trying to get off the topic, but I've really been wanting to put my cooking videos out there, but
Oh, sounds good.
I just don't know. I mean, I'm just so nervous about.
You're Italian. You're Italian like I am, except I'm not Italian. I'm Sicilian, and there's a huge difference there. And there's a huge.
I'm mixed. I'm mixed,
Yeah.
Italian and Sicilian. My
Oh, really?
mother's Sicilian. My father's Venetian.
So they make the distinction. If you ask an Italian, you say, "Are you Italian?" No, I'm Sicilian. Damn it! Don't you ever. You know, it's
Right.
kind of unusual to have the two kind of mix.
You know what I was talking about that on one of Dan's shows one time, and how my parents were so, because the Venetians in Venice did not like the Sicilians,
Right.
and my family life growing up was very difficult because they got
Kind
married
of
and had
like an
4
Italian
kids.
version of West Side Story, huh?
It was more
Yes.
like Everybody Loves Raymond, but more vile.
My family's exactly like Everyone Loves Raymond. You know that?
Yeah, and
Hey,
also
let me ask you this
my
real quick. I don't mean to cut you off, but did your family keep the plastic covering on the couch?
yes, my mother did that at the beginning of our
Yeah.
lives, and she got better at not doing that later. But yes, we were not allowed to sit on the couch.
I got
We were, yeah.
a story. My great grandparents used to have that kind of furniture. They'd have all the plastic still on the couch and chairs and stuff, and we weren't allowed to eat or drink in the living room at that time. The family all sat around the table. You guys do that too?
Yeah. You mean sit around the table to eat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we always ate together. We were never, we were the classic Italian family, but we had a little bit of a hint of Archie Bunker and Edith. And Edith, my mom was Edith, my dad was Archie. So yeah, that was.
My grandma and grandpa were Edith and Archie Bunker too.
Yeah.
My grandpa was in World War II, and he was
Yeah,
very much like Archie Bunker.
My dad had the chair. He had the chair. Yeah.
I have my chair.
So,
Yeah.
I
tell
gotta
everybody,
see it.
get
I
out of
gotta
my
see
chair.
it.
Get out.
And you couldn't. He was so set in his ways, and he had an opinion for everything. And all you could do is listen to him tell you his opinion, no matter how many times before he had shared this opinion with you. And you could try to play devil's advocate if you had the energy for it. But at the end of the day, you were still going to have to consent to the fact that his opinion was the one that was correct.
Have you ever noticed that I'm kind of like that?
What?
That you're
That I'm
you're
kind
kind
of
of
set in my ways?
you
I know
do
that I
remind me.
am.
Well,
I think we all are to
I know
some
that.
degree.
Well, I know every time you tell me about something, you're like, "Yeah, you should do this or that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll look into it."
Well,
But
Hebrew,
yeah,
you do remind me a lot of my brother, a lot of my older brother, Hebrew. You're younger than me, but you remind me of my older brother. He's Italian and Sicilian,
Yeah.
so yeah.
My great grandparents came over from Sicily, and they saw the Statue of Liberty on Ellis Island.
Wow.
I think it's still Ellis Island. Did that change? Was that the big Mandela effect?
Yeah, that's now
it's now
it's
on
now
Liberty
Liberty.
Island, which
Liberty.
is
But
well,
Yeah.
yeah, which is supposedly a part of the Island. Um, the Ellis Island now has the Welcome Center, and the Statue of
Yeah.
Liberty is on a separate landmass called Liberty Island. Yeah, but that's not how I remember it, Hero. I remember Ellis Island. That's
Yeah.
the Sagittarius
my,
planet
my,
that we all
my,
used to live on.
my
Now,
sister said that she we grew up in New York, and of course the Statue of Liberty's arm was always just in New York and the rest was not. But my sister clearly remembers, and I guess she's 61, and I had a bunch of people at her house one night, and I called to ask this question, and she asked all her friends, and they were all like, yeah, that there was some damage done to the statue when it was on Ellis Island, and they clearly remembered it being moved
was
to
it
Liberty
hit by a
Island.
rocket or something?
I don't know, but all
Or
I know is that
some kind of bomb. That's what I heard.
No, there was an explosion that caused damage to the torch. So now people aren't allowed to go up and hang out in the torch. However, and this has apparently been the case since like the 50s or 60s, and there's so many people who remember going up into the
Yeah.
torch when they visited the Statue of Liberty
Yeah.
on Ellis Island. But
Yes.
now it's not even on Ellis Island, and the torch has been closed
That's
for
weird.
30 years. So weird.
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Let me
that
ask you
torch
this.
has been. No, I've heard that people have said they've went up in there, and that torch has been closed since I was a child. That
Wow.
is so weird.
Let me off the subject a little bit, but do you remember? I remember when I was a little kid, we used to pass the cheese grater around, and we used to grate our own Parmesan cheese. Do you remember ever doing that?
Oh yeah, I graded some today
Yeah. We used to pass it. We had it on that was one of the main things on the table. We
in
had
the bowl.
we had the fresh Parmesan cheese. That was a block of cheese, and we used to grate it right over our food.
I'm the traditional all my foods, everything I do. I'm the one out of 4 children that literally followed my mother around the kitchen. I make all the strufelas, I
Mhm.
make all the angel cakes. I made
Oh,
749 angel cakes
wow.
last Christmas and box them and give them to friends. So I've
Let,
got the heart
let me
of
ask you
Italian.
this. Let me ask you this real quick. We had this thing that was called Italian cookies, and the Italian cookies, for people that don't know, they're kind of shaped almost like croissants, almost like they're shaped like little tiny croissants. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but
They're angel.
they had
Yeah,
ice.
I make those. I make
Do
those.
you?
You braid them when you make them. You braid them and then you roll them. You make your own flour and your own dough with the
Yes.
egg and the butter and then the sugar, and then you use very little sugar. Believe it or not, they only take about 4 tablespoons of sugar. So I kind of kicked it up a notch, but
Yeah.
but then you take them and you dip the top of it into a creamy icing, and then you put the little sprinkles on it, and you can take
Yes.
that same batter and cut it into little strips and fry it in these little things, and you pour honey over it and sprinkles, and they're called strufelas.
Mm-hmm.
And those other ones that you're talking about, those ones you just called cookies, are actually called Italian angel cakes. And
Okay.
they're little, you can pop them in your mouth because they're the circle, this maybe a little bigger than a $50.
Yes.
And they look circly, but they're not. They've got these little grooves.
They're
Okay,
kind of like
there's
half moons, right?
you have to have these grooves
Yeah.
in them, because if you don't have the groove in them, then they won't hold the icing.
Mhm.
And then when you put them in your mouth, they just melt. Now, I don't know about the
Oh,
half
amazing.
moon. I just know about the ones that look like little braided circles.
Yes.
And yeah, those, and yeah, I make those. I can,
Oh
in
man.
fact, at Christmas time, I can ship them out to everybody if y'all
Yeah.
want.
Well, I tell you what, we make. My grandmother makes those every Christmas. Those are freaking awesome. I tell you.
Yeah, my
Every
mom did all the way up to 81 years old. She would have us help her, but I am my mother. I am my mother. I have her heart. My brother told me I do.
And
And
I don't. I'm
mhm.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to say that I think we all, I don't know if we all, but I can also contest that my grandma also made a special treat for us every Christmas. Like she would make these these peanut butter balls,
Hmm.
kind of half dipped in chocolate,
Mhm.
and they were called Buckeyes because she lives in Ohio. It's a
Okay.
Ohio thing. But anyway, what the point of what I'm trying to get at is like it kind of goes back into what you were originally saying with the water having that positive
Oh,
reinforcement in it, making you feel better, making you healthier. Yeah, these treats aren't necessarily healthy or good for you, but they
well,
have
I'm
so
going to tell
much
you.
love and so much warmth and so much generosity cooked into them from the care and the
I'm going to tell
caring
you.
and the love that is coming from the grandma that's making these for her family,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
when
yeah,
people eat them, they actually feel that goodness
Absolutely.
from the thing that they're eating because of the
yeah,
love
yeah,
that's in it. Versus if you go to the store and get
Yep.
a cookie from Nabisco, it isn't going to give you the same effect. Do you
yeah.
understand what
And
I'm saying?
when there's no, when there's, this is so interesting. This is so synchronicity. It's blowing my mind. I was just sharing with a friend earlier today about a video of my granddaughter as she's making, at 9 years old at the time, my meatballs for me. And I was talking about how she rolled them just like my mother in the video.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden at the end, I said, to put love in the food, right? To my granddaughter. And she goes, love is the number one ingredient in all
Mhm.
foods. And, if I cook, and I cook for people with love, I've cooked for 40 people at Christmas time every year till about 5 years ago. And when I cook with love in my food, it just tastes unbelievable. But if I don't have love in my food, it doesn't, because water is also in the food. So we charge the
Right.
water in the food. It's all structured. When we think about water, and would you like me to kind of get back to the article
I
and
just
then
want to say real
just,
quick before you do that,
uh-huh.
Mary, Mary Natal. Do you know? Do you know what I'm saying?
Mary Natal?
Natal.
No, I don't. Mary Hartman. I remember that.
That's Merry Christmas in Italian.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know that. I don't.
Natal.
I'm a
Natal.
nut. I was born in America, and
Mm.
they all. In fact, I was the only one in my whole family. Me and my brother barely spoke Italian, but my two older sisters and my mom and dad still did. And so when they would talk Italian, they were always doing it when they were talking about me and my brother. So we could never know what they were saying. So I can sing a little bit of Italian,
How could
but
you?
I can't speak it. I can say some words that we're not going to use, but yeah.
But Manakachi.
Mary Natal. I know I was going to be,
Did
to
you
my
hear that?
grandchildren, I was going to be Nona, but my granddaughter decided to name me Meemaw. So it's sort of like in Texas, sitting on a chair with the rocking chair with the shotgun, hey,
Hey,
I'm Meemaw.
did you
Yeah.
hear what I said? Fachi Manakachi.
No, it sounds good though. I'm hungry.
No, that's not a food. That's an insult in Italian, and it's a very it means your face looks like a hunting dog's butt.
That's good. Well, my mother used to sing a special song. Thank you so much. My mom used to
No,
sing
no,
a
I didn't
special
mean
song.
you.
No,
No,
I
I meant.
knew it. I knew you didn't, but I knew I'd catch you on that one, But yeah, when I was a kid, my mother used to sing a little special song. She would sing, Bata bata lamane, batoka vinga papa, a botta chocolate, for Vivian to mangiare. And it was Daddy's coming home to bring
I heard
chocolate or
manja.
candy home. Yeah.
I
And
heard
that was,
manja means eat. I know that.
she would say, it was really clap hands till Daddy comes home. Daddy's got candy for Vivian to eat alone.
Do you know what we
Um,
named our daughter?
What?
Mia.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Mine. And she says that too a lot. Mine, mine, mine.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So, would y'all want me to jump back in this and just?
Yes.
Well, yeah, let's wrap. Let's get her done. Let's go ahead and finish it up.
Well, you don't have to get
Hey,
you don't have
I
to get
just
rid of
wanted-
me after.
I just wanted to say something real quick.
Uh-huh.
Everyone watching, you guys watched Dan's show last night until 2:30 in the morning. So don't sit there and say you can't tune in for what we're doing. So I just wanted to put that out there.
I know you did, sweetheart.
You
That's fine.
You're holding them to a higher standard. Good for you.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, listen. He owes me for all the Italian bashing he did on the show.
Oh God, that was the last night I was on the show. It was like I heard some Italian stuff, and I was like, oh no, no. And as an Italian, we don't take that too well.
He said,
Seriously.
told me joke. What was that joke you told me, sagittarically speaking? How would you like to put it on the air?
I told you about 4 or 5 of them. I can't remember which one.
What was the one about the bus and the wheels?
The bus. That wasn't me. That was
Was that
that
God
was
Garment?
yeah.
We're gonna call him out right now. He said the wheels, the bus is the wheels wop 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 wop.
Oh my God.
Now here's the thing. Now I can say that, okay? You know.
No, the one I did was why do Italian men grow mustaches?
Why's that?
So that they can look like their mothers.
Oh my God.
You don't say that to a woman now.
Oh my God.
You know what I told him to that? The truth. You know
What?
what I told him?
What?
I said, now, hey, my mom has a mustache shaver, so you can't say that about her.
I'm not going to comment. I guess I am not going to comment, but I've fought with the hair my whole life, but as I've gotten older, it's not a problem.
Hey,
So,
now I will say this. I will say,
Well, I followed that up with reminding them that my wife, when I'm divorced now, but when I was younger, I was married.
That's why
And I mentioned that my wife had a real faint mustache under her nose or whatever. And
Well,
just one time I mentioned it in a conversation, and that was the last time I ever mentioned it.
well, what's really interesting is when you get on these like date sites and you'll read a guy's comments and he says, and no women with facial hair, and every woman in the world fights facial hair. I'm like, well, you might as well be alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's get back to the water deal. Let's change the subject.
Okay, let's go back. Okay, so it was a lot.
Right.
I think I like the way it's flowing. So, okay, so this basically the next part I'm just talking about what you submerge in is what you are. By the time water reaches you, if it has to flow through neighborhoods, it's been exposed to domestic violence and much negative energy. When it flows from your faucets, it's dead, not structured anymore by Mother Nature's sun and the natural environment. Water in this negative state is now lifeless and needs to be charged and restructured before you drink it. Collective consciousness creates water's realities. everything that is collective in this world, as in collective consciousness, all life is connected and consists of and through water. So look at it this way. Sam and Sally down the street just had a fight, and water's passing through the pipes close to their home heading to you. It says when the water finally reaches your home, it's holding negative messages. That was just an example. Hold on. We're almost done. Okay. Of one situation. Imagine how many situations it passes before it reaches the destination to you. Think of how many people are affected by this. If you think about everyone drinking and bathing in water and being made up of a percentage of water as well, then unstructured water can be fatal to all of us. This is how we are all connected through water. Water has its needs like we do. Have you ever had a bad day and you just sit outside looking at the sky and the sunlight and you feel way better after you sat out in the sun? That is the same thing sunlight, air does to water, to make water alive again. So water running around is dead, like the bodies we bury are there. So let me say that again. So water running underground is dead, like the bodies we bury there. Since water is life, then it needs freedom to be alive. Sunlight and air are crucial to its ongoing survival to keep it alive and structured as the healing agent that it's part of. Water also thrives on positive messages that stay right, structure we need for the healing and living. So water is life and the gift to this life. We need to be conscious of water and what we think about others and how we treat them. We also need to recharge our water before we drink it, not just through filtering it, but blessing it. The best way to recharge it is structured to make it work for us. One of the best ways I know to bless water before it touches my lips or enter my body. Now, sometimes I'll do this even without saying it out loud, but I say, water, we love you. Water, we bless you. Water, we thank you. Now, I also bless the water in my swimming pool, and I've had friends come over to my house and go swimming, and they're like, oh my God, what is going on in this pool? They'll feel really well. So basically, then you bless it before you drink it by saying, water, we love you. Water, we bless you. Water, we thank you. And then drink the water. This will actually change the water in seconds. So another way to get recharged structured water is to mark on the containers on it. Mark it with positive words like healing, love, health, wealth, happiness. We also need to send blessings to others to charge the water within them and ourselves, because how we think of others will also affect the water within their bodies as well as ours. This is the real meaning of the scripture, do unto others as you would have done to you. Without water, we would not be here no matter how we look at it. Water is life, and the gift to this life is the water and outpouring of water's love that never ends. Now, this is the last little paragraph. It says, do we really need any more proof? Now, I wrote this based on thoughts and feelings and the understanding of structured water. Now, I've actually taken markers and wrote on my body, health, love, wealth, so that I charge that water in myself. So it says, do we really need any more proof? Look around you at this life. What do we have to lose by helping ourselves and water that has been gifted to us? But if you need any more proof, look up on the web how to do the rice experiment by Dr. Emoto. You can find it also on YouTube or on Google just by typing in how to do the rice experiment. I prefer to do the rice experiment with glass jars that have no words on them and them other than the ones written by me, not in plastic containers. I also like to boil the jars, clean them to make sure there's no debris in them before starting. Another way to get the proof you may need is drink only structured water that you've charged with either written words or by prayer for you or someone else. Then see how you feel in a month or so. Also, then see how you feel when you go back to uncharged water and unstructured water. Make a note of the differences and good luck. Hope you found this article helpful and enlightening. Now, here's an interesting thing. You can take a bottle of water. Now, find yourself a spray bottle, but make sure that spray bottle has no markings on it. Take it home, fill it with water, and play rock and roll. No, I'm just kidding. Don't play rock and roll to it. Play some Beethoven to it. Now, you can also find some videos online where you can see Beethoven
Beethoven.
You can see these crystals dancing to Beethoven.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
So you can find those videos. Just put Dr. Emoto's crystals dancing to Beethoven or to Bach, and you can. It's amazing to watch the water actually dance.
Okay.
Now,
Wow.
here's the thing: what you're going to do is play some beautiful music. Don't rock and roll at this time. Then take that bottle of water after.
What
and
about
put it.
heavy metal?
No, sweetheart. No, no.
Okay.
Then take that water, because you can actually go to that little thing that he just popped up, and you'll see what heavy metal music actually looks like to the water. Actually, I've got a picture of it right here, but y'all can't see it because I don't have myself on camera. I could pop up for a minute and show you.
Go ahead and can you put yourself on camera?
Yeah, hold on one second.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, so I'm on cam now. Hi, everybody.
Belladonna.
I'm going to turn red. Okay, so here is, let me try to do this with one hand. I'm actually changing pages here. This is actually my article.
Do you know what I just said in Italian?
No, I don't speak Italian.
I said Belladonna. That means beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's what my mother called me, Bella, all the time.
Beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Belladonna. Okay,
so
put that out there.
This is that is very sweet. This is okay. So the one not closest to my face. So this one right here is heavy metal music played to water. Okay, so that's what it looks like. This one is water from a dam that has not been prayed for. This is this structured water right here is love and gratitude spoken onto water, that one. And then this one over here is Bach's music played to water. And then down below you have names of places: New York, Los Angeles, Denver, and Dallas. And then this one is Mozart played to water. So yeah, it's amazing. And so I want to say something about what you do is after you put the water in the freezer in the spray bottle, after you've played music to it, then freeze it and then thaw it out. And when you get a cut on your body or you're hurt, spray your body with that water, and it will actually help you heal a lot quicker. There's different things you can do. You can, some people don't want to go to that extent of writing with marker on their drains coming out, but that's what they did whenever they, I'm going to turn the camera off again for a minute. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me try to do that. Okay. Cause I don't want to see myself. Okay. So that's what they did.
You're very beautiful though.
Thank you.
Just saying,
I just hide a lot. So,
can I
what
interrupt you real quick? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to say that Zeb Johnson has joined the chat. Thank you, Zeb Johnson, for being here. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, you can mark on your pipes in your bathtub, or maybe put signs up. If you don't want to mark, just put signs up in your bathtub that say love and life and health, and take your water bottle and rip the label off your bottle if you are drinking bottled water, or they have this really new water called Life Water that you can buy. It already has the word life on it and some beautiful artist pictures. That's a new one on the market, but you can take a bottle of water and just pull the label off of it, and then find some sticky labels or some markers and just write. I wouldn't really kind of get the marker into your water through the plastic. So you want like a sticker and just put it on your water and structure your water. You can also mark on the containers in your refrigerator that you're keeping your cold water there, and to keep your water structured on a regular basis, so that when you're putting it in you, it will heal. And I do have something that I'm not done. Okay, so almost there. There's 3 thoughts to contemplate.
Wait. You're cutting out.
Sorry. Am I there now?
No, you still sound low. Does she sound low to you, Sagittariusly?
Something's going on with your microphone. Like maybe you put it on speaker mode.
No, can you hear me now?
No.
We hear you. It's just your microphone has changed. You sound like you're talk like Charlie Brown's teacher.
I don't know. Let me try to mute it and then unmute it. Let me see if
Okay.
that works.
I don't know if that'll work, but you can try it. Zeb,
Okay, did that work? Did that work?
no.
No, did you move your phone or?
No, everything's the same.
Okay, well that does not sound too good. I'm sorry.
What can I do to? I don't know how.
Maybe leave and then follow the link and come right back in.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'll try.
That'll probably work.
Okay, all right.
Oh man. I hope everything goes better for her, don't you?
Oh, she's doing great.
No, I don't. I mean her microphone.
Oh yeah, she'll be fine. That'll work. I'm confident.
Now, is that Michelle or Michael?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Are you not keeping up with the chat?
No.
Now, see, your microphone's starting to go bad too. Okay, let me add her in the room. There we go.
Okay, let me get that
That's
camera.
Much better.
Okay, so there was three thoughts to contemplate. Monsieur Emoto discovered that thoughts have profound impacts on water. Number 2, over half of our body is water. Number 3, we have between 60,000 and 80,000 thoughts a day. Now, question is how many of those thoughts are uplifting and positive, and how many of those thoughts are something else? And there are some books that I would like to just say the name of. And then I would like to read you the poem that I wrote in 2005 before I knew about this. And that was where I made the decision to put all of it together. But the books by Dr. Emoto that are awesome are, hold on a minute, is Hidden Messages of Water, The True Power of Water, Water Crystal Healing, Messages from Water in the Universe, Magic of Water, The Secret Life of Water, The Secret of Water, Love Thyself, The Healing Power of Water, and The True Power of Water, and the last one, The Hidden Secrets of Water. So basically, if you mark on your skin, even, with marker, not that you really should, you find something that maybe is not toxic, and then just write on your skin the word love, or,
Well,
learning
I
to love.
always mark on my skin with marker. I mean, it's perfectly acceptable as long as it's not permanent marker.
Right. Just
Well,
as
then that
long
gets
as
me to thinking about be real careful about, that gives me a whole new concept on choosing my tattoo wisely as well. You don't
yeah.
you don't want to get skull and crossbones
Mhm.
across your back if it's unless it somehow has
Why
a
didn't
hidden
you tell me
positive meaning for you.
Why didn't
This
you tell me
is
that
so
earlier? Damn it! I got skull and crossbones all across my body. You son of a gun!
well, this is very true now when I'm working with a client and I notice that they have these
I
markers.
didn't get a laugh out of that. I'm sorry.
I didn't
Go
know
ahead.
because I took it really
I was
serious.
I was laughing on the inside. I really was.
On the inside. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe your insides will release themselves here shortly, sagitarically
Yeah.
speaking. Okay. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
So I'm assuming that you don't have that kind of tattoo, but even if you
On
did,
the insides?
you can also
It'd be painful. How would you even go about that? I mean, a surgeon would have to go in there, and how would you see that? I mean, you'd have to have X-rays, right? You'd be like, yeah, check out this tattoo, man. It's pretty cool, but it's on my guts. Sorry, okay. That was a bad joke.
But if somebody does have a tattoo and they're going through, they come in to see me and they have some tattoos on their body, and I notice that their energy is low and coming from more of a negative state, then I encourage them to think that no matter what is really on the skin, it's going to really be how you think as well. So just to change their belief of the tattoo. If it's a skull, maybe they could think of it as worshiping the dead, worshiping the people who think, like the Day of the Dead.
No,
When you worship, when you
No,
worship the
there
people
is
who
there is no dead. None,
right,
none of us truly ever die,
right. But I'm
and that's
saying
what
if you're
being
trying to get an average individual
She's
who
trying to
does
think of a way to help them turn their frown upside down. Is what she's
says.
saying.
Technically
right,
speaking, you're coming in on a 20 on my earbuds, brother. You blew my eardrums out. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I wasn't even doing my Guildford Godfrey impression.
Well, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I won't get into all that. Okay, we won't get.
All right. So you try to help them put a positive context onto a tattoo that may otherwise seem negative. I'm with you. Keep going.
No.
and I've also
Wait. I want to say hello to. Is it Michael or Michelle?
it's
It's
Michael
Michael.
Russell.
Michael
Russell.
Runsome. How you doing, brother? Sorry, I had to. We're not doing
Yeah,
shout outs.
we need to let her finish so we can wrap this up because it's
No,
getting about that
no.
time. Well,
We're
I'm going to be here for about 10 more minutes, so let's get it
we're
going.
gonna keep going on forever. 8
That's
hours.
right.
8
I'm
hours.
just now getting my second wind, y'all.
Yeah,
But,
come on, Sad. Go drink some coffee, brother.
It's not about the coffee, my man. It's about it's about something totally different. But let's keep going. Let's see how it
Uh-oh.
goes.
He's got
Okay.
something personal going on. I'll just bet you his insurance company called him and told him, "Hey, listen, you can only be on Hero's channel for 2.5 hours, and that's it."
It was actually my wicked stepmother. It wasn't the insurance company.
Anyway, yeah, we'll okay.
Well, I've actually heard of people removing their tattoos when they do come up with this understanding, but I don't believe that that's necessary. I do believe that our cells in our body change faster through thought and positive thought, and that say 10 years out of understanding this, you will protect yourself from negative people, negative environments. You will find that you will be more apt to block things that could come in. And once you build more of a resistance, then you're building that water to have more of charge in your body. Does that make sense? You're having more charged water, more structured water in your system naturally. So for instance, you say an 80-20% of your 57 to 67% of water in that amount of water, you're having an 80-20 effect of positive and negative within that space. So
I'm with you.
Yeah, good. But don't y'all think it's really weird that in school we learned that we had 70 to 80% water in our bodies years ago, and now all of a sudden we only have 57 to 60% water?
That's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and look it up. Look it up.
No,
No.
I'm totally with you. And you know what's? I remember being told our planet is in Sagittarius arm, and now we're told it's in Orion Spur.
Well, Orion's Spur, and that's bullshit, man.
Right.
Listen,
So I think on Sagittarius's arm we had 80% water, and now that we're on a smaller planet in Orion Spur, we have less water. Maybe it's all tied together like that.
I was always taught we had 73% water in our bodies, and that's
Yep.
yeah.
That's the number. That number kind of sticks with me.
And
73%. But I also remember it being the amount of water on our planet too. Like the Earth itself was about the same.
Water on the planet.
Yeah, give or take a percentage or two, but it's you see what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Right. You know what I was going to ask you? I was going to ask you if on, it's too bad I didn't save this topic for Shifty Sunday. Seriously,
right.
Because is Hebrew Armor Up going to be on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll call in and talk about it a little bit.
I don't know.
He's mentioned this before, so I know he's familiar with the concept. So it's not a foreign concept to him. I wanted to also mention that when I first moved down here to Florida, I started driving for Uber Eats, and one of the places I would go to, especially on a Friday or Saturday night,
Wait,
and down here, and
wait.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I don't mean to. I'm sorry, dude. I don't mean to like walk on you or anything, but why haven't I not been informed about this the whole time? You like really? You drove for Uber Eats?
Yes.
Wow, dude. I didn't know that.
All right.
Well, no, I mean,
Well,
like, you learn something new every day, you know?
well, yeah, I do. I learned a lot today. There's
No, I
quite a
mean,
few things I learned.
I didn't know that, dude. Explain.
All right. Well, where I'm going with this is one of the downtown St. Pete along the beach. There's a really super high end upscale
Explain
restaurant.
St. Pete. We don't know where that is.
Well, it's on the Gulf side of Florida, and it's kind of like a artsy centric little city off of the peninsula of Tampa Bay.
See, I'm completely ignorant of that. So thank you for explaining that to me, sir.
You're very welcome. So I go into this upscale restaurant, and I'm waiting on the food. I always have to wait on the food when I go to this restaurant because the food is actually prepared by a chef and it's made to
Oh,
order. And
fancy.
and yeah, they got the white hats on, and the white linens on the tables and whatnot.
So let me
And
ask you this: Has Chef Ramsay been to this place?
if there was a place in St. Pete that he would go to, it would be this place.
Well,
Except he wouldn't be going there to improve it. He would be going there to take his family to a nice dinner.
oh man, okay, so
Yeah.
it's pretty fancy, is what you're saying.
Yes, it's so fancy that you could put the word schmancy right behind the word fancy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Fancy
laugh.
smancy. Let me say
Yeah.
it. Fancy
Fancy
smancy.
schmancy, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Fancy
Yeah.
smancy.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
continue.
uh, so she offers me almost every time she offers me a glass of water while I'm sitting there waiting. And of course I take them up on it. I'm working, I'm thirsty, and I know I'm in a nice restaurant and the nice bartender lady is offering me a glass of water. Sure, I'll take
Did you
some.
look good?
And she gives me a really
I'm
nice
just
elegant glass with a straw and
the straw.
yeah, the straw even has the little flexi bendy thing on it. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
well,
about?
that's fancy then, man.
I know, fancy
If
schmancy.
it's right. If it's with the mini straw, it's got to be fancy. I mean, come on.
But
You,
here's the kicker: she puts it on a coaster,
you
and
don't
on
even
this
get that at the Red Lobster.
no,
I mean,
and on this coaster is like a weird crystal symbol. Crystal looks like a snowflake, kind of like. And I don't. I'm not even giving it a second thought. And then finally, I say, "What's with this? What's with the like snowflakes on the coaster?" And she said, "That's the symbol. That's the that she's trying to explain it to me, and it's like a crowded bar. She's trying to say that is pot. She's trying to tell me that that's the positive water crystal." Is
huh.
what she's trying to say. She's trying to say, she just says it's a positive water crystal, but I have no idea what she means. But basically, they use those coasters and they set the glass of water on a positive water crystal to give all their water for their guests sits on these coasters so that their water gets a positive
It all comes from
vibration
that.
off of the coaster that it's setting on.
What that actually would do is then once the people drink the water, they're going to feel super good and they're going to come back to that restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a.
Yeah.
Well, what did you call that earlier? The Zebo effect?
The placebo effect, yes.
Placebo. Sorry. I should.
But those people
Ouch.
that are drinking it may not even know. They might not even know that that's structured water.
No,
See,
no, but
that's what
unless they ask, yeah. But
right.
whoever is in charge of the restaurant was, cultured enough to come up with the idea to make his coasters have that, which I thought was brilliant.
I love that. I think I'm going to make something out of my pictures and start. That's just a great idea. I never thought about setting my bottle of water right on top of this picture. I'm going to do it right now. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
I just set my water on that left. I think I'm going to make me a little
That's the most
plastic
awesome
covered
thing in the
coaster.
world.
Yeah.
That's better than Bobcat Goldplate and Gilbert Godfrey having a conversation.
Now I kind of got something off what y'all are saying that I'd like to kind of share about that.
Hey, what's going on here? Yeah, I can't.
It's the focus of kind of telling us to just go ahead and stay focused more, even why I stay focused more on the love of God versus negativity.
I'm sorry, but we don't want to go down the government road. It doesn't. As a matter of fact, Sagittariusly Speaking has a really interesting concept, which if everybody tunes in on Shifty Sunday, they will hear his interesting argument, or not argument, but his composition on the government.
It's easy for you to say.
Like a preview there, Mr. Sagittariusly Speaking.
No sneak preview. Just have to wait and listen tomorrow. I've actually been working on something I am going to present tomorrow that basically just that it's about how the United States is more of a corporation than it is a government. The government is more of a corporation than it is a government.
There you go. Hey, listen, folks, everybody that's listening, tune in to Shifty Sunday at 8 p.m. My time, Central Time, and 9 p.m. Eastern Time, if everybody's listening. And, it's something interesting. Here tonight, we've had up to 14 listeners, and that's pretty amazing considering what we get on Shifty Sunday. That's about the amount of people we get for our Shifty Sunday broadcast. Is it not?
It is not. Wait, no, it is not.
Oh, why you little iota.
Do the Gilbert Godfrey thing again.
Well, Vivian,
why I oughta. Well, I was saying something to y'all, but
can you hear? Can you hear? The truth will set you free. Can you hear?
There's one there, Greg. Hey, whoa. We got to give our props to Euler Greg. Oh shit, she disappeared. No, wait, you disappeared.
No, I'm still here.
Oh,
he fell off again.
Euler Greg, I got a question for you. While we're on this show, would you like to appear on an episode of Shifty Sunday? That's my question. Homer. He says Homer versus Gilbert Godfrey. Okay, here we go. Okay, the truth. What was you saying? I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Let's do this Homer and the Gilbert Godfrey thing.
Okay, well let's try it. Okay, here we go. I can't really do Homer too well. It's like let's see, how does it go? Donuts. And then Gilbert Godfrey goes, Homer, what the heck are you talking about? Donuts. And then Homer goes, I don't know. Marge? Homer? What are you talking about, Homer? I don't know.
Oh, you do the wife wonderfully.
He disappeared. Oh my gosh.
You do the wife wonderfully. Can you do some more of her?
Oh no, that's about as far as I go on that. But I can do it like, hey, Homer, what are you doing? I don't think he's listening to you. What are you talking about, Boo Boo, my boy? Hey. I don't know. He's not listening to you, Yogi. Oh, well, then he's just not in tune with me right now. Boo boo. No! I don't know. I take it as I
Very,
get it.
very good.
I take it as I get it. Where the heck is Sagittariusly speaking? He disappeared.
I don't know. I'm sure he'll come back on to say goodnight. Maybe he's having a hard time getting back on.
Well, I hope not. I hope that's not the case. But I want to tell you, I admire you, and I know we have kind of the same Italian heritage. What do you think about that?
I do. I think that, yes, I'm half Sicilian and half Phoenician. So, yeah, I, I think it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm glad I was not the only one who heard Dan's Italian put downs. I thought it was just me.
Oh well,
Yep. Glad to know. Glad to know.
let me ask you this: what would happen if I said some bad thing, not bad things, but sort of joking around about Mexicans? I mean, that would be horrible, wouldn't it? That would be
Yeah, that would
not
be terrible.
acceptable.
Unacceptable. Yes.
I would think
That
so.
is that a what would you do type thing like we were doing earlier? What would you do?
Well, yeah, I would think. Dan has Mexican heritage, so or Hispanic or whatever whatever you want to call it. But I was joking around with him, and he knows I was just busting his chops or whatever, and um, he said, "Well, I didn't mean to offend you or whatever." And I said, "No, you." I sent him a message earlier on. I said, "Actually, what you said was kind of funny, but we do have that thing where it's like black people say, well, only I can say that joke. Only I can say the N word or this or that. It's like, well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you a joke in Italian, okay?
Okay.
Well, why did the Italian guy watch the sunset?
I don't know.
He wanted to watch the day go by.
Now, me and you can laugh about that, but
Right,
if it,
right,
there's that offense that happens, I think in different cultures,
right,
you would never. Yes, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that is funny. That's a good one. That he watched the day go by.
right. That's just us, though. I mean, I can say that because I am Italian.
Right.
I think if I wasn't, I quite wouldn't get by with that.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure.
But oh man, good old Sadgie, he disappeared off the face of the earth, huh?
I think he was getting tired too, so I'm not sure if he was just like, well, I dropped out, I'll just stay out, because he was saying something about needing some sleep or something.
Mm, okay.
But well, I hope you enjoyed what I put
Well,
together.
we're not done here. We're not done here. We're gonna try to get
Yeah.
him back in.
Did you want to what other types of little games do y'all play on here besides what would you do?
Oh well, that's just something we came up with off the top of our heads. To be honest with
It was a
you,
lot of fun at the beginning of the show, man. I don't
it
think I
it
ever
sure
laughed so hard.
it sure was, and of course the you know where I got the Gilbert Gottfried thing from, don't you?
No, but you're good at it.
Oh well, I mean, well that. Hold on, I'm trying to. I got on got on our Google Hangouts. No, that was. Oh, let's do this. Not you. I'll wait till Sagittariusly speaking comes back in. But I was telling Dan, I said, now what if I was to do the amen, amen, and then have somebody knock on the door and knock like this. Hey, who is it, man? And be like, hey, man, it's Dave. Dave, I got the stuff. And they'd be like, Dave's not here, man. You know. What if I was to do something like that?
Like I don't get it, but I'm
No,
sorry.
haven't you ever watched Cheech and Chong?
Oh yeah, yeah, I have. I watched that years ago though.
Yeah, man. It's like he knocks on the door and he's like, "Who's there?" He's like, "Dave, Dave, I got the stuff." He's like, "Dave's not here, man." You know, it's like,
Oh yeah, I remember that from Up in Smoke, right?
yeah, yeah. It's like Dave's
Yeah,
not here.
that is funny. That is
The
funny.
whole thing is hilarious. Yes, it's
I
great.
remember that now. I actually have the movies, I think. I wonder if there's any Emmys on those movies.
There could be. I mean, I don't know, but you know, that was back in the '70s, or well, no, maybe not the '70s. '70s, early '80s, or early '80s, I would say. But they had the records. You know, they had the records before they had the movies. So
Oh, really? See, I don't remember that. I mean, I just probably didn't know about it. Do you, I was like, do you remember those old things that they used to have I can't remember I think it was called the Jerky Boys. Do you remember them?
oh yeah, definitely.
Oh my God,
That,
that was
that
so funny.
that was hilarious. The phone calls, the prank calls.
Yes, I actually have an old cassette of the Jerky Boys somewhere.
Hey, listen,
Of,
hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you or nothing, but could you take over the show a minute? I got to kind of do something personal.
oh, okay. I have no clue. I guess I could just ask people in the audience stuff.
You can
I
ask.
can.
Let's see here. We got Euler Greg. We got Michael Rawsome. You know what? I'll do a quick shout out before Sagittariusly speaking.
You know what? If you want, I can shout out while you go do your personal thing.
Yes, please do that. Just scroll down and you know.
I'll scroll up and then back down and see.
Well,
Okay,
you
so
know what I
but
mean.
don't be gone long.
Oh no,
Okay.
it doesn't take me long to do what I have to do.
Okay. Now I'm on. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So, all right.
I'll be
Go
right back.
take your
I'll be right back.
take care of business, Hero. Okay. So I don't know who's still on here, but uh, I guess if you want to be shouted to, there's Stonebender and um, Eman 31. And if I don't say your name right, I'm sorry. Michelle's opinion. I don't know if she's still here. The Taekwondo. Um, there's preliminal, and I always have a hard time saying that right. And Connie Joe Wood, and let me see here. Oh, there's me. Truth sets you free, and Hebrew keeps saying truth will set you free. So I guess that works too. And let's get down to the bottom. There's Michael Russum. Hi, Michael. And Euler Greg. And I think that's it. I don't know if I got everybody, but yeah, this is strange. I hope he hurries back. I need to practice because I want to do my own channel. So, thumbs up if you think I should do my own channel. Hey, hey, I don't know if there's a bunch of people in here anymore or not. I think we might have ran them all off. I think it's just me and you, Michael. Oh, it's funny. I don't know what to tell y'all. I guess I could quote a poem. I'll quote this one. This is called The Mountains in the Distance. So really, seriously, I'm going to quote a poem. This is My Heart's Search. The mountains in the distance and the clear running streams, the feelings of persistence wanting to have that one true dream, the reality that binds me in shades of darkest blue. I don't know if it's just a dream or something that will come true. The feelings of great wisdom cannot calm the storms of rage and indecision that keep me from all harm. The hope that lies in my heart for the answers I don't know. They seem to tear me all apart and toss me to and fro. I feel as if I'm sinking into the river so deep. I don't know if my eyes are blinking or if I am asleep. The hope that the time will come and the answers will be there for the things I search for in my home, in the place of my heart's despair. Um, I was just thinking. I did a movie.
I'm back.
I was in a movie called The Pool Hall Master. Um, and they filmed most of the movie at my house. And are you back, Hebrew? Are you back? I thought I heard him say he's back. So anyway, this was really interesting. It played at a place called the Draft House here in San Antonio, Texas. And it was kind of like not really the greatest quality of movie. But I think I've gotten to do most of the things I've wanted to do in my life. So I just got one little thing unturned. And you hear growling. Like, what kind of growling, Boiler? I don't know how long he's going to stay on. How long can it take to, drain a lizard or something? I don't know. He didn't get werewolf bit. Uh-huh. Yeah, this is weird. I'm actually live on a show by myself. And all of a sudden, I don't know what to say or do. So, but yeah, tomorrow will be a fun day. Somebody asked me a question. Somebody come up with something. Jokes are about werewolves.
Drain the lizard.
Oh,
Hey,
heard
come
me.
on. What are you doing to my show? Oh my goodness.
No, I said I don't know how
Oh,
long it would take you to drain one.
well, I tell you, it
You
depends
could have
on.
been you could have been shaking hands with a giant.
Well, I mean, it depends on how. Never mind. No, I'm not. I won't go there.
Okay.
I won't.
Okay. Well, I thought
I
that
won't.
would be more appropriate than
Yeah,
how long.
we're live, people. We're live.
Okay. Sorry. But you missed it. I quoted a poem. I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I quoted a really beautiful poem. So you'll need to go back at your timestamp and listen to that when you get a chance.
I need to call Saji. I don't know what the heck happened to him. He just disappeared.
You just left me on here, and next thing you know, I'm telling dirty jokes. I don't know what happened, Hebrew. I went live and went from love to just filth in minutes.
Well,
Yeah, well, it's
I
late.
gotta tell you, it is. Yes, it is late. It's almost 2. We've been on here for 2 hours and 36 minutes.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna end the broadcast. You already gave the shout out, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did all that. You took a long time. I was starting to panic.
Well, I went and did what I had to do.
It's
I guess
it's
you figured out what I
it's
had to do.
practice. It's practice for me because I want to open my own channel, but I
But
mainly want to do cooking and reading and cheesy stuff. So, but
she's
I just need encouragement.
good with cooking.
I'm a real good cook. And maybe before I go, maybe some Christmas I'll be able to mail you to a PO box a bunch of my angel cakes. And so anyway, but thank you for
Well,
having me share.
yeah.
I'm sorry about the lizard joke, but
that,
I hope you're not mad.
made the show. I don't know what happened to Sagittariusly speaking. I tried to call him just now, but I guess he must have fell asleep.
But well, I hope you're not mad at me about the lizard joke.
No,
Okay.
I'll talk to you after the show, but
Okay. I was just in general stating, that. Yeah, I'm embarrassed now, so I'm turning
oh
red.
no, don't be like that.
See the look on my face? I'm literally embarrassed. I'm
Well,
turning red and everything. So
I mean that happens.
yeah, okay. So well, thank you for having me on, and I'll come in tomorrow night and listen. So
Right?
okay.
We got a show
Okay.
tomorrow night. Everybody who's listening, well, you see the banner there. Shifty Sunday every Sunday night, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. So be tuned. Be sure to tune in for that. And we appreciate everyone who watched here tonight and tuned in. And I guess you already gave the shout out.
I did. It was fun.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. You're an awesome possum.
Thank you. So are you.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, it was my pleasure having you on the show,
Thank you.
and I don't know if I speak for Sagittariusly speaking. I don't know who he speaks to, but I'm sorry that we lost him at the last few minutes here. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So, do you have any last minute thoughts?
Nope, nope. That was it. Just thanks. And it was a lot of fun.
All right, cool. Well, um, I would like Sagittariusly speaking to come back in and give his last minute thoughts, but I guess we lost him, and so we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. How about that?
Yeah, love everybody, everyone. Be sweet to each other. Good night.
Good night, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. And God bless, and hopefully we'll see you all on Shifty Sunday.
Absolutely.
And thank you for being our special guest. We
Thank you.
we appreciate it, really. I mean it.
Yeah, I was really grateful that I got to share something that means a lot to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that does it for Saturday night shenanigans. And apparently, Shenanigans is what's going on because I can't get a hold of Sagittariusly speaking. I was hoping he'd call us out, but you know, you know how things go here sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe he's having some computer issues or something.
He could be. I mean, he is, doing this from his phone. So
Yeah.
I will try to reach out for him one more time. Let's see here. Where? That's not how you spell where. Where? Damn it! I didn't mean to do that. Uh, where are you?
I got a feeling that he just had some computer issues, then he dropped off and just went to sleep.
Well, that could be. It's after all, it's 3 a.m. where he's at.
Right.
So okay. Well, I guess we'll just close off the show and thanks for thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been Hero 77 for Sagittariusly speaking and our special guest. The truth will set you free. And hopefully we'll see you all on Chicken Sunday. Good night, everybody, and thank you. And broadcast.